Hey everybody, and welcome for another Friday here on West March's Blue Rose at Weave the Tale. So, such a pleasure to see everybody again. I'm happy to be your narrator for tonight, Anthony, he, him pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter up here at Prainntheplague. I'm happy to talk a little bit more about what we've done in the last couple weeks over here doing West Marches with Blue Rose, what we got in store for tonight. But before that, let's introduce our wonderful cast. In no particular order, we will start with Leland.
Okay. Well then, I didn't expect that for some reason. I don't know why that. I don't know why that threw me off so much. It really was random. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Hi everyone, I'm Leland, also known as LeopoldtheJust. You can find me all over the internets at LeopoldtheJust. That's probably going to change soon, though. We were having a heated discussion about that earlier. I don't know if it was actually heated, but we were having a discussion. Anyway, cool. Today I will be playing Halfax, the sea folk retired pirate, with a big bushy beard and old wrinkly gills. He's like 70 or something. But as they always say, you know, old people in a dangerous profession that are old are very dangerous people. So I don't know if that's how the saying goes, but you got it. Anyway, all right, proceed. Next person. Bye.
Is it mic drop from Halfax? Zin being played by the wonderful Elliot.
Hi everybody, I'm Elliot, also known as Chaos and ChaosElliot on the internet. The one up here is where the unorganized chaos is, but if you want to find the organized chaos, I am at ChaosThem on the internet. I'm playing Zin, who is a sea folk, adventurer, pirate. I am here to make your pirate dreams come true, and my life is full of adventure. So somebody said Blue Rose, and I said, okay, let me put on my best. So I did.
You look so amazing.
Yeah,
Barley
you
is
look
going to be
fantastic.
very happy when they meet you at the bar in just a bit, which we do spend like half the time at the tavern and then usually half the time on whatever adventure or thing that we're up to. 20-minute adventure, Morty. But next up, Tamir, being played by the wonderful Foxy.
Hey folks, it's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox, Philly's finest. I can be found on the internet at Foxxiieternal, Foxxii, Eternal spelled the usual way. Today, I will be playing Tamir, a Lartian knight, or former knight, fell on some hard times when the noblewoman he was charged with protecting died, and is now on a penance quest to sort of earn back his favor to be able to return home. And apparently, I'm out here with two pirates doing pirate things. Should be a good time.
Pretty scary. Pretty scary. A lot of pirate things going on. Okay, so a little bit about what we got going on for West Marches. So if everybody's not familiar, West Marches here at Blue Rose on We the Tale is essentially a collection of queer and trans focused stories, putting everybody who identifies with those categories in a positive light and setting them first. Blue Rose is a great world for that. So we've had many weeks of taking down patriarchal theocracies, of stopping corrupt nobles, of saving unicorns and stopping pirates or becoming pirates, depending on which week it was. This week, not excluded. So a little bit about our subs and retweet goals. We're at 4 out of 20 retweets so far. Every retweet is a hit point that our players can use to heal anything, whether that be a person or, and I say this every week, or a rock. We have had multiple inanimate objects save us, like mango leather, like toys and stuff. So anything that anybody wants to heal, whether it be, and we have had a couple rock heals as well, which made me very happy. So don't forget, rock heals are always available, but it doesn't have to be just for rocks. And same thing with our subscriber goal. There are 3 conviction, which is kind of like a super meta currency that allows many different possibilities that every player has. If we get 5 out of 5 subs, we'll actually double that to 6 conviction for everybody, and that'll basically give every player 6 opportunities, whatever they want, whenever they want. So a little bit of context on the story and our goals. But without further ado, we'll get into the actual story. The time in Aldis is calm right now. The majority of the problems started have in the last weeks have been stopped in just as long. Demon portals have been closed. forest sanctuaries saved, evil noble courts rooted out of corruption, and old tribes or lost artifacts brought back to their respective homelands with the people that they belonged with. So many wonderful things have happened in the lands recently, and most of it is calm. But in the capital city of Aldis, right outside its outskirts, lie a sacred land where a gigantic inn is built on top of it, known as the Roamer's Rest. The Roamers are a Romani-inspired people that are found in Blue Rose, and this is sort of a central hub for communication, for trade, for warmth, for a place to return back after many travels and share your wonderful oral histories that you learned, and sing the songs of whatever you found on your travels outside. It's a beautiful place with a huge collection of many different people. Um, Barley is our wonderful bartender who is a he, she, they pronoun, and is a young Romani, basically child, or child of the Romani, but is definitely of ample age. Oh, 13 retweets, sorry, not 4. So great, awesome, 13 hit points, everybody. Barley is there taking care of everybody. It's a very accessible tavern, so there's like a normal like door, and then there's also like a rye creature door for like that's like horse sized for anybody to come in. There's like horse sized tables down to like hedgehog sized tables like in the rafters. There's people everywhere on the second floor. There's a lot of fun and games to be had, many intoxicants to be had, and behind the scenes, or a warm bed, if that's all you're looking for. On our standard floor, we have the huge tavern and everybody kind of celebrating the successes and everything that's been going on over the last couple weeks, and Barley serving out keg after keg, so many feasts, charcuterie, anything that anybody would want. Just really enjoying themselves, and kind of in light of all of the success recently. I mean, they call this the golden age of all this, and this is no different. And downstairs, we have a little bit of a rougher gambling area. There's Fight Club, there's darts, there's hazing and drinking contests. So feel free to go down and make some money or increase your renown if you wish. There's a little port outside of the Roamer's Rest with roamer ships, and then a larger Aldean port kind of up coast. But right now, even though it should be a day of commerce and travel, there's so many ships in port and nobody's moving. It's like everybody just decided to leave. This is like a couple of weeks of vacation essentially, where everybody just leaves. And so I'm happy that everybody is calm and having enjoying their time back in all this. We find each of you arriving at the Roamer's Rest, or having been there, interacting with some of the roamers, before we get into what's going on in this particular week that is putting a little bit of a dour spot on everybody's celebrations. We'll start in the same order that we went back and give everybody a little bit of a showcase before we introduce everybody and everybody meets. Yeah. So, with a little bit of warning there, Halfax, what do you happen to be doing in this tavern of many wonders and pleasures?
I would say, in retirement, I've had a bunch of money saved up from pirating, and I just my character's not only changed his profession, he's also sort of changed his moral outlook a bit. Like he's, you know, trying to make penance for all of the past misdeeds that he's done, and um, he's ended up kind of burning through his savings a bit. But he's got his this journey here to you said called it the Roamer's Rest. Is what it's called? Is that
Yeah,
the name of
it
the
is. Yeah,
town?
it's the
Okay.
Roamer's Rest.
Okay, so he traveled here to the Roamer's Rest specifically to. He's not really, even though he's low on money, he's not very good with it still. So he's like gonna do something luxurious and pay to pay for like a luxurious bath and like a sort of spa experience. So he would, and as part of his ancestry or race or whatever it's referred to in this game, he he's got to kind of sort of, I believe he's got to soak in water a bit, like a certain amount of time for a day, being a sea folk. So this is like, him doing that pretty much.
There are definitely like some beautiful hot springs in the basement. It is connected to an underground estuary. On the way, though, you find many kind of aquatic related creatures and people that you really didn't expect to find. In the sense that when you get down there, there are buff dolphins gambling with each other. They're in a big, huge tub of beer, right? And these are actually rye fen. And they're sort of like this is their hunt. This is their hangout. This is where they stay at. So you can see they drink whenever they need to. Just go down and take a gulp. They have a couple of smokes in their blowholes that they take out. They're wearing trilbies. They're putting down sardines and salmon as gambling tools. And if they fail, you do see this large see-through glass tank of this congealed black liquid. One of them takes a sip reluctantly, the other being kind of hazed by the other ones, and he sort of incapacitates and falls over. They laugh, and you can understand a bit of what they're saying. It seems like this is actually refined pufferfish toxin made into a sort of liquor. And so,
Oh,
in
wow.
order to kind of screw themselves up, they this is what they do. Usually can take it, but sometimes it's too much.
I'm gonna try and get my
So
hands on some of that, but so I can take some into the bath with me.
yeah,
We'll say I've
so
got like a bathrobe on, and I just sort of
you got a bunch
walk
of
up.
money, yeah. So you approach the dolphins and.
Hi there. I'm just wondering, you mind if I get my hands on some of that? It seems quite effective.
Psychic contact from the Ryfen to you established. Saying, hey, all right, you got the cash. I mean, like, you're a nobody. Just walk in here. Think I'll give you my special reserve? What are you gonna put up for it?
I don't know how much you're charging for it. I'm just
No,
trying to relax.
no cashier, no cashier. A game is what we need.
Oh, I love games. Just so happen to anyway. What kind of game?
Put your bet down. Yeah, it's a card game. He's like, sit down, and he starts serving you, your hand of like dolphin poker.
Okay. We'll say I've got like I don't know, like a little handful of like rare pearls or something I've pulled out of the ocean.
Wow,
personally,
that's awesome. That's some pirate. Give me the loot. That's some pirate loot right there. Okay, fine. So you pop down the pearls, right? They're like, oh, okay, all right, some real cash, okay. And they take out their treasure chest and it's like, listen, this is everything that we've won today. This is what you need to earn. If you can take this from me, you'll double your stash, and I'll give you the liquor.
Oh, this evolved into something more than I was prepared for. I just was trying to get a little buzz on while I hung out in the. Okay, all right.
The springs are for you, but over here, you come in, right? You come into the space. You don't see the other dolphins in the suits. You don't see them, no.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's play. What are the terms?
He's like, so it's out of character. It'll just be whatever roll you think is appropriate. I'm happy to use. So everybody starts with 5 stun points, in addition to conviction, which are these these 3 die you have that are you can do whatever you want with. You can also do kind of stunts, and these are exploration or role play stunts, and so you can kind of like add a +1 or a +2 for 2 stun points if you wanted to, right? And then apart from that, just pick a roll that you think is comfortable, and then roll 3d6, or if you're using your roll 20 sheet, you just click on the stat.
Okay, and how many stun points did you say we had? I missed that.
5, and so you can add 2 total, because you can add for 2 stun points you can add 1 to your result.
1.
Yeah, 1 for 2.
Okay,
so one point
okay,
extra
I got you.
For 2 points.
Okay, I will do an intelligence check. We'll say that my character hones in on like kind of maybe like the best way to play the game pretty quickly. Like he pretty quickly figures it out, maybe
Deconstructs the game, starts counting cards immediately. Yeah, sure.
Counting cards,
I'd love it.
something like that. You know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah. Whatever makes the most sense. Yeah, I'll do that. And so that would be a d6 per What would I roll?
I
A
should just be
d6 per number?
3d6.
3d6. Okay. And am I
Yeah,
adding
plus
my
2.
intelligence to it? My intelligence is a 3.
Oh,
Is that what?
yeah. If you roll with your intelligence, yeah, it does. It should add it to the roll, and
Oh,
then
I
you add
see.
plus
I
2
just click.
based on your
How do I?
yeah
Oh, okay. I
on the
see. I
actual
clicked the
like
check
name.
mark.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. And then I figured it out, everybody. My apologies. Submit. Oh, Lord, submit.
Now let's just hope roll 20 doesn't get you on these rolls. It's okay. It's a 12. I'd say that you definitely win, like, kind of the first round, right? You win a couple of hands against this dolphin. He's like, all right, you beat me. Hey, boss. Get in on this, right? And he sits back down. A different dolphin by the name of, he's like, listen, I just got back in town.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's going on here. My name's Henry. Now I've been leaving my younger brother Jimmy in charge here, but I'm finally back. And you're gonna tell me that you're gonna win the first hand against me? I just got back today. No. This won't be.
I just wanted to just drink some of your liquor and sit in the bath. I'm an old man. I got bad joints. But yes, I suppose we could play
Okay.
another round if you insist. All right.
Trying to twist my hand, old man. Just because you made my accomplice cry, you think you're gonna do the same to me? No. It's the same roll, and then you can just try again.
Okay, yeah. All right, you got it.
In the meantime, I want to say thank you so much to Demon God Linden for our sub. Really appreciate it. And we're at 16 out of 20 retweets, so almost there for 20 hit points on any of these dolphins if they get burned too hard by our good friend Halfax right now.
I would like to.
Okay.
Could I do? Okay, yeah. Do I have to choose to spend the stunt points beforehand, or can I do it after?
So is my understanding that you spent 4 prior, you only have 1 now. However, you
Yeah.
could use a conviction to re-roll it.
Oh, okay. Well, this is fine. I'll just take whatever this result. Would it be
So-
12 plus my intelligence score, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so then that'd be 16,
Yeah. Or 15.
right? 15. Wow, okay. 15. So Henry looks at you and is like, I don't know how I lost already my first day
That's-
back.
Experience, young man, experience.
But I promise you this. If you ever need a favor, I'm happy to help you. Anybody who gets this far is part of the crew, and he hands you a trilby. He's like, anytime you need anything, we got you.
So I have a
We're
hat.
your pod right here. They hand you a couple of smokes,
Ooh.
a stein of beer, and like a wine glass filled with like this congealed black liquid. It looks like snake venom coagulating blood,
Yep.
but it's black and it's toxin. It's fucking
Excellent.
toxin.
My character is old, and he's just like willing to try stuff, Like, that's crazy at this point. He's like, whatever. Worse things haven't
So you
killed me
walk-
so far.
You walk away, you got this hat, they hand you this treasure chest that has 2k gold in it, apart from whatever you already brought with you, which were the pearls, and the rest of the stuff. So you're like walking away, you're flush with cash, you have everything
Yep.
you need.
Excellent. I'm going to secure my chest within one arm while I'm like leaning onto the back of the edge of the spring. I'm basically just sitting on the edge of the spring with my chest secure under one arm and my drinks, like somehow managing to hold both of my drinks in one hand and just sort
Jimmy,
of sipping them
who's
individually.
the younger brother, Jimmy, who's the younger brother of Henry, is still wearing like this pelvic cast from an injury acquired from a very small raccoon a couple weeks back. So he's kind of
Oh, no.
waddling along, and he's like, Henry, you too, man. How is it that these damn civilians keep doing this to us? And they start crying together. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, Henry finally accepted the weight of some of his emotions and was able to experience that a little bit with his brother thanks to you. So
My character doesn't care so much. In fact, he
correct. Just walk away.
He's kind of just like trying to mind his own business with the intoxicants they've given him, and he's kind of like this. All of this, he's yeah, not he's not really into the whole like camaraderie or romance type thing. It's not really his thing. Human connections. He's just a primal individual, if you will, and he kind of cringes around human emotion like this. So he actually is going to submerge himself and try to ignore it. Because he's a fish person and he can submerge for a while, I think.
Yeah, and it's deep. It seems like a hot spring at first, but once you kind of go in it, it's actually deep, and it leads into an underground kind of cavern that,
Oh, that's neat.
once you go far enough, floats out into the river outside. So you see it for a little bit, but you come back in, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far.
But you have a long ways to swim and do what fuck you want, and bury your treasure or some shit, whatever you want.
Exactly. You could go on to
Which
someone
is
else
great.
and say that like my character is like just sort of soaking for a bit.
Yeah,
Because I think I have to
exactly.
soak
So,
for like 10 minutes or something like that.
in those 10 minutes, Zin, what's going on with you? Again, the tavern is there. Card reading, all kinds of people to drink and eat with, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah. So, so Zen has already done their daily soak. They're pretty prepared. They're for their background, they are a roamer, so like they've done their things they need to do to start the night to have an adventure. And that is what Zen is about. They're about adventure and getting out there and just keep going. Like there's no real home for them. Everywhere is their home as long as, they've got a good crew with them, and nothing really matters too much for that. But they're here and they're queer and they're going to get some cards read. Because what else do you do? How's the tarot treating you today?
The card reading is solid. You go up. You're a roamer, so you have a lot of experience and background in the rest. You've been here plenty of times, and imagine this is basically like a second family to you. The people who generally are mainstays or regulars, and a little bit, others who are more transient but still spend a lot of their time there. You know that the person to read cards is Theodora. Prior to getting cards read, you're there, you're queer. One of our amazing characters who has been at the core of many polycule throughout this West Marches campaign is Barley. Barley, who is again he, she, they pronoun. In the term that Blue Rose uses for trans and NB people is Lavel. So being a Lavel member, roamer as well, sort of reaches out to you and says, Zin, listen, you don't really come back too often. And I don't get to see you all that often. But I'd like to spend more time with you. I'm not like who I used to be. I have my shit together now. Look, and like flashes. Instead of you expect like cash or something, but it's really like it's like arts and crafts and like education papers, and it's basically like I'm following my passions and I'm bettering myself because I wanted to focus on myself before I asked you, but I feel like I'm finally ready. Would you go on a date with me?
Holy. And I look at the materials that they give me, or that they show, and I'm like, wow, these are really impressive. You're not joking. Yeah. You never really had to wait too much for me, if I'm being honest. Yeah, of course. I'd
Blushing
love to go on a date
immediately.
with you.
Oh, joy! I'm so happy. I feel kind of lost for having waited so long now, but no regrets. I'm a better person now, and all the better for it. Okay, all right. Theodora's downstairs like usual, but just hand her this card. I feel something different about you, and I just mix this into her deck before you draw, and let's see what you get.
Yeah. I'll do what I can.
Hands you a stein. blows you a kiss, and like sends you on your way, basically. You head on downstairs, where you do see, like the first thing that you see, because it's the springs are on the other end, right? Is this very relaxed, essentially shutter shades wearing old man sea folk, covered in like multiple hats, treasure chests on the side, um, very like just bling, just completely just completely dripped out. But you turn to the right and kind of like ignore that for a second. You're like, okay, this person seems to be, doing their own thing, soaking. You're like, whatever, put it out of your mind. And you go on to meet Theodora. Theodora immediately, who's she, her pronouns, is a middle-aged seer who stays and permanently at the Roamer's Rest and kind of acts as a spiritual and cultural leader for many roamers who pass in and out. A sort of cultural lighthouse, if you will. Theodora is the person to speak to if you're trying to get your cards read while at the rest. She reaches out to you and she's like, "Oh my God, Zin! I haven't seen you in so long. Oh, come here, child." Gives you a hug. Just like picks you up.
I hug her back.
Puts you down. Wow, I didn't think I'd get to see you again for a little while. I'd heard your travels in the Barrens were getting a little dangerous there, but I imagine with some shadow fiends and demon spawn kind of lowering in number, that it only makes sense you had a little bit of a peaceful time to visit us back.
Of course. Yeah, no, I gotta get a moment of reprieve before I go back into the hellscape of the world. And this is my favorite place, so gotta get a read. Also, out of character, I didn't quite understand. Did they want me to mix the card in when they weren't looking, or give them the card?
Oh
wanna
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure.
Like give her the card now, and then she'll like shuffle, and then once you draw,
Okay.
like hopefully that might have changed something.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And I was upstairs, and I finally scored a date with you know who, and they finally asked, and like you said they would.
See, the last time you were
Yeah.
here, you drew the lovers.
I know. Actually, and I pull it out of my pocket. Told me to have this mixed in.
I won't look, but okay, I believe you.
I haven't looked
I feel
either.
its power. Shuffles it in.
Can't turn down the cards once
Shuffles.
when either somebody has given you them or they pop out. You know how it is.
It's like blushing. She's like, "Listen, I'm so happy you're with Barley now. I won't say I shan't say any more than that." She shuffles, and at this point, out of character, just roll 3d6 for me of any characteristic you'd want, and we'll do that twice: one for major and one for a minor arcana.
Okay. Okay, and let's see. So I will do. You said do it twice?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me get back to that again. Oof.
Okay.
Jesus.
It's okay. It's not a pass or fail. It's just what number
Yeah.
you get. So for the first one, for a 10, Theodora takes it and draws. Pulls out that specific card for you. Here. Death, or creating change. A part of you is new, is different. You've returned different. I feel it too, child. I'm wouldn't say that I'm happy or sad, but you are different now, and your experiences will change as a result. Sometimes it might be more change than you're used to, but understand that in order for new change, new life to bloom, to grow, death of the old, the overgrowth, must be destroyed first. And for the
That
second,
sounds like death.
yeah, hands it to you. You do like taking the card back. you do see like a kiss stain on the card. So, is this the card that was handed to you? Maybe, maybe not. As for the number 4, you do get the 7 of rods. You're listen. So much change is happening in your life that you may feel a second wind. You might feel very adventurous, and you should take that, by the reins and follow it to its logical conclusion. But be wary. Becoming too adventurous or leaving it unchecked without reward or with emptiness can only lead to a reckless outcome. Remember, you have somebody to count on you now. Somebody who's relying on you, maybe. Or at least who would like a little bit more time with you. Just be careful. I'd like to see you again too, for my own selfish reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That makes a lot of sense, especially where I am right now. Right before the big old trip. Gosh, yeah, no. I wanna keep it alive if I can. I'll come this far. That'd be quite sad if I couldn't come back and share my spoils and have another drink and another raid. And another date.
That's what I wanted to hear. Again, for selfish reasons, but I'm happy that the cards will push you in that direction anyway. Hands you the cards and says, "Well, you're home. Charles has been looking for you, and it's Charlie the horse, who is a rye horse outside, who is a common friend of yours, who you play around with in the stables and roll around. And so, Charlie would love to see you again and give you a hug or play a game of lacrosse or something. But for now, enjoy yourself."
Always. I'll come back, don't worry.
Okay. Well, you better say bye before you leave.
I will, don't worry. If I don't say goodbye later, this is goodbye now. But I
Cries
don't
a little bit.
anticipate.
Kufu.
No, not yet. Not yet. Let me cry with you. You can't cry unless I'm crying with you. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
And
It's gonna be fine.
we'll hold off there. We'll hold off there for Zin. Tamir. And last but not least, heading on in to the Roamer's Rest. You see Barley kind of like daydreaming off, but you're more than welcome to go and get a drink if you wish. Go downstairs and gamble as well, or get a reading. In the meantime, there seems to be a sort of like fight breaking out in the middle of the first floor. These multiple sailors and other people bearing the crest of your homeland, of the matriarchy of Lartian, fighting with what appears to be pirates, straight up. Like there's just like some pirates like wearing like stereotypical like skull and crossbones or other similar type of vigilante raiment, kind of punching it out in the middle of the street, throwing like salt water that they keep in flasks at each other, like pocket sand but pocket salt water, and then like shaking your eye and stuff. They're like, "Listen, okay? They're never coming back. Okay? They're dead. Get over it. The rest sends whoever they think is, better or smarter or stronger that week to deal with whatever problem the world has going on at that point. But this time, just some of them came back. And that island is lost to us." They're referring, to a story that you've heard recently. A story of an island south of where you grew up and a little bit north of where Halfax and Zin call home themselves, so somewhere kind of at a midpoint, where a cursed island with an ancient lighthouse has kind of gone dark. The Roamer's Rest sent a group there last week, and although a vortex and strange weather around the island preventing further ships from getting in has finally been fixed, the island itself is barren, and it looks like it's been destroyed recently, but no corpses, no remains, and nothing of value can be found. They fight amongst themselves to see if pirates or the matriarchy has right to start invading, pillaging, or generally colonizing the island, which is unfortunate because the matriarchy is very much set on its foreign policy or its foreign expansion in the area.
Indeed.
So it's definitely causing some issues. You pass that
Shame,
by.
really.
You don't have to interact with it, but
He wouldn't like a fight to happen. Yeah, I think he. I think I'd try to sort of get in between the two biggest people who are kind of shouting or throwing fists. If any of them hits me, it's totally fine. I'm not going to make that big of a deal about it. I just want to see if I can get their attention on me for just a moment.
so yeah, I'm definitely gonna say that it's gonna be like a Hajime no Ippo situation, where they're about to punch each other, like, and they would have, fists cross each other, hit each other in the face, and you kind of walk in as soon as these punches get thrown, and they both kind of deck you at the same time, ring
You're
you a
fine.
little bit, but they're both taken aback by it, and they burst off. The matriarchy captain is a Laval woman by the name of Sierra, and Sierra says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." And then like the other matriarchy soldiers like are like laughing at her um, for getting into problems because the matriarchy's been made fun of recently for some other issues with the royalty they've had in recent weeks.
Tamir will
The
just
pirates
lower his
feel
head
bad
a
too.
bit at the punch, not sort of like make eye contact with her as he doesn't think it's proper, and just fighting here will do nothing. It's fine.
This beautiful trans woman is like completely taken aback by how like kind you are, and you just got like decked. She's like super powerful, trained, like soldier and captain kind of this expedition party, and you're not like flinching at all. She's like, "Can I buy you a drink? Kind of want to see how strong you are. I don't know."
Uh, he blushes very hard. Um, I am not allowed to drink in my position, thank you, but a woman is due her proper respect where I am from. It is only appropriate. No offense is taken.
Uh, wow. Do you happen to be from Lartien by any chance?
Yes, I haven't been home in a long time, but yes.
She feels flustered, as she didn't realize that she was speaking to somebody from her homeland, and kind of sharing similar cultural like mores and forays. You're like, okay, all right. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. I'll just be sitting back to my table for a minute, but you can talk to me whenever you want. Turns around and you hear like cursing and like mumbling, like, why did I say that? Fucking why did I say it like that? And like goes back down, sits down, and like again is made fun of a little bit by the other Lartian soldiers. The pirates, on the other hand, are like, whatever, like my bad, buddy. I'll get you a drink if you want, but can it be like swill or something? Because we barely have any cash. Um, we used to have our own island, this crew. We were recently kicked off by a pirate horse and a pirate bear. I don't really remember what happened too well, but let's just say like we don't really have access to that island anymore, and we're really like highway people now instead of pirates because they took our ship too. And like the
Uh,
regret, eyes go sunken, like.
Tamir will take out enough gold for at least a good round of drinks for the group of them and just place it in his hand. Just, apologies for your misfortune. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Wow, you are like weirdly nice.
I've been
Okay,
told that
listen.
before.
You need anything later? Just hit us up, okay? It's like too nice. You gotta end up saving somebody or dying. Like, just we'll be in touch. Real quick aside, we are at 21 retweets. Thank you so much, everybody, for hitting our retweet goal. We got to 20 a little while ago. We're at 21 now. Really appreciate it. And Leland for your second sub of the game. Wow. Okay.
Hey.
I mean, is that cheating?
That's nice.
Is that che-
Is that no?
buying subs
not at
for
all.
a stream that I'm in?
Pay to
Not-
win
literally
stream.
not
Wow.
at all.
Wow.
Yes.
Hype.
I do that maybe
Very
a little
hype.
too often, but who knows?
No, super appreciated. So that's awesome. We now have 2 out of 5, and so 3 more, and we do double our conviction. Leland's at 2 out of 3 conviction, and Zin and Tamir are still 3 out of 3. The so just
I
small
subbed
aside,
also with
and
Prime. I bought 2
th-
subs and subbed
uh,
once with Prime.
what? Okay, I never mind. 4 out of 5,
Hilarious.
ridiculous. Only a single sub more. Only a single sub more then for double conviction.
Do we have
everybody,
any primers in
for our
chat?
semifinal. Yeah, come on. Any prime
takers, any
subs in chat
patrons?
for our semi?
Any
Okay,
loves?
one time I did that on a stream and it actually worked. Like somebody immediately used their Twitch Prime. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I can believe it. You know,
I'm just
Somebody
like,
saving
wow,
it.
that worked.
Somebody got
Someone's
the.
thinking
Somebody
about
got
it.
the.
Someone's got it. Someone's got it locked and loaded.
Amazon Prime button. Okay, but
No,
we are at 4 to 5 subs. So thank you so much again, Leland. Highly appreciate it. One more and we'll double our conviction. Tamir, back to your super very nice response to this pirate.
Yeah. No, just after the pirates offer help in saying like, oh, if anything happens and you know he's gonna either save someone or get himself killed, he'll just kind of offer kind of a wide, weird smile that seems like he's kind of joking, but also being incredibly serious, and just say, "Such is the plan."
Such is the plan. The pirate looks at you and says, like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on, but there seems to be a halo of light behind you. This halo of light is, in fact, the 5th subscription coming from Dido, a wonderful friend here at the
Dido
channel.
with the work.
Dido, let's
Yeah,
go.
Dido with the 5th. Let's go. Exactly. Thank you so much again, Dido. 5 out of 5 subs, 6 convictions, so that means 6 blue die for everybody except Leland, who already used 1, so 5 in the game. Very happy to do that for everybody. Any roll that you want to do, any attack that you take, just double it. Any you just got it. You know, this is full on fun section at this point.
Excuse
okay.
you, Sam.
Sam. Sam, oh my god, Sam won too.
Oh my god.
Aw.
Now we're one above. Look at that.
Thank you so
For the
much again,
finale.
Sam and Dido. And Sam's at a party right now and doing that, like having so much fun.
Aww.
Wow, absolutely a treat. So very, very good send off for semi-finale of Blue Rose. Okay, so Tamir, you said that to the pirate. The pirate understands. Sits back down.
Yeah, I'll go get a reading. Why not? It sounds like a fun thing to do.
Yeah. All right. So go downstairs. See the same thing. Now you see, to my understanding, 2 sea folk chilling in the hot tub.
5 feet apart.
Yeah, definitely 6.5. Definitely 6.5 feet apart. At the hot spring, gotta soak it for required 10 minutes before your skin gets loses its pristine fish oil. Gotta get those omega-3s and keep them. So you're soaking. And Tamir, you do see on the right Teodora, ready to do another reading. As soon as you turn the corner, crying dolphins on the left, Teodora on the right. Teodora's looking right at you, and already has your cards splayed out.
Stop, offer a very low bow, and then take a seat. I thank you for the grace of your company, madam.
You see, this is how everybody should talk to me. All right.
Oh
Thank
no!
you. Looking at you, Henry, and like points over, and is like Henry's crying in the corner from the beating that Halfax.
Her ego did not need that. Clearly.
Sorry, not sorry, but sorry.
It's a middle-aged seer who has fun in the little things in life. That and shared embarrassment of a younger generation, which she like thrives off of, right? As you do with any abuelita of any kind. You sit down. She's very happy to meet you. We get many special people every week now for several weeks, and we know this is the work of our queen and her golden heart. We know that this is the will of whatever gods you believe in, for the roamers believe in all. We believe in the exarchs of shadow. We believe in the new 7. We believe in the primordials. We worship and revere them all, and we have shrines to each of them here at the rest. regardless of where you came from, or even if you do not ascribe to any of those beliefs. There will be some benefit to you with these cards. Same thing, roll 3d6 for me twice, and let's see what you get.
3d6 coming right up. First one. Second one. Oh, got a 6
right.
at least one 6 both times.
For an 11, I see. Your kindness is not lost on you, and there might be some hope for you yet. In fact, I could hear above, these floorboards are very, very shallow. Wink. And says, hands you the lovers, and says, you are a person of love, of beauty, and this is important to you just like it is to me. Do not take it for granted. Be happy. Be happy that you can connect, you can empathize. Hopefully this will help you do so. This will be the encouragement that you need. And so the card pushes you to be more open, or to at least know that what you're doing, is you're on a good path. And second, for 13, I'll take the Queen of Chalices. For the Queen of Chalices, you are devoted, as is somebody with your desire for love, for understanding, for empathy. However, that devotion can lead to a nature of capriciousness. Be careful, or you will close up. You'll become stubborn. Get lost in the sauce, basically, Tudor says to you. And she eats a little bit of shrimp off some marinara, having a little. Be careful.
You are as wise as you are beautiful. Thank you.
Is freaks out. Is so happy. Is immediately blushes, high pitched, sounds like someone was drinking in an anime, and does the high pitched feel afterwards. Lets you go and says, "All right, you've had enough. The third special one who have entered today and have already made my dolphins cry. Please step up. Your reading is waiting as well." Looking right at Halfax.
Oh, I suppose, yes.
He's really probably thoroughly gone on the whatever the hell that thick black
the
liquid
sauce.
was that he was drinking. The sauce.
Please roll a con check for me.
The thick,
Yeah,
viscous
please roll a con
sauce.
check.
Lost.
We will see
Lost
how
Mezza.
lost in the sauce you are.
Oh, I don't have a very high con either. It's a low number.
No, probably not.
Okay. And the thing is, though, is he's old, so he drinks to be able to go to sleep without being in pain. So he's he's probably just gonna get real sleepy soon. Ooh, I didn't roll too good there. A 12 total.
No, you're good. So
I guess
I just
medium.
needed anything above a 10.
Oh,
Yeah, I just needed anything above a 10.
Alright.
So
I didn't know
it was
that.
3d6. Yeah, you did great. I mean, not every time, but for this one in particular, you're definitely good.
Yeah.
You're not, you are trashed, but you're not incapacitated. You're not unable to move.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, so he's gonna get his tarot spent also. Is that what?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. We just wanted to make sure that you could walk there without, slipping or.
Of
or
course.
Just being unable to get up,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks over
you
there and pulls the chair back and sits down. It reeks of I don't even know eel toxin or something. I don't even know what he's drinking.
So that's awesome.
Oh, does he know
done.
Theodora?
So no, you've never met, but she does recant the speciality in you, and you still haven't denied or affirmed it.
All right, so
she
he's
does
gonna
ask you to draw.
Yeah, sit down and it's
all right, young lady, I don't mind one bit drawing from your deck here. I don't know if I believe in this stuff so much, but let's see.
What? How do I need a deck, or do you just draw 2 cards?
Nope,
Or you
just
got...
3d6 twice.
Oh, that's right. That's right. How could I have not caught on? A
It's okay,
7.
you're drunk, right?
Nice.
And a 10.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you're
sure.
trash. It's all
That's
good.
it.
It's all good.
How could I?
Yeah.
how
Okay.
could
Way too sauce. That's all it is.
You're just playing in character. That's what's going on. It's fine.
Method acting, I believe, is they call it.
I believe it's the attention deficit disorder. Yes, we will say that. Method acting.
As somebody who did play
I could
Adventures
use
in
a beer,
ADHD earlier in the week, that is definitely the case. So she hands you a beer before she
Yeah.
draws your first card, and when she draws your first card, she says, "The priestess, or one that believes in oneness with spirit, although that spirituality is different to everybody. Clearly, your spirit is found at the bottom of a barrel, and there's nothing to be ashamed of that."
Oh, it's my alcoholism is not that bad.
You're drunk right now, and you wanted a beer, and I just pulled a card that said that you're only at yourself.
Well, I wanted something
with
more easygoing, you see, because I had this viscous toxin from God's nowhere, and I just figured I would have something a little lightweight, like a beer.
If whatever, as long as you're
What
okay,
is this
as
guy?
long as you're
He reaches out and sort of haphazardly picks up the cards, like,
What does this lady on this card mean? Something about spirits, you said?
yeah, it's like the priestess card, but for some reason this one just happens to be like holding, instead of like a flower, a candle, or a child, it's like a giant beer stein that she's like
Oh.
holding out, and so this priestess is communing with this alcohol. So,
Oh,
hey, listen, that's what the cards say.
yeah. I don't see any words
Here's-
on these cards, but
Oh, that's what I'm here for. But
you
on your
interpret
second
them.
card, exactly. On your second card, she pulls the 3 of chalices, and she's like, it's probably 3 beers worth of chalices in one. She says that your destiny is that you tend to be gregarious. However, this level of gregariousness can lead to you to become eventually inhibited and lose yourself. I wonder what could possibly happen that could cause you to become more inhibited than you currently are.
I don't know. Well, that was quite
neither.
interesting. I don't necessarily know what you said about the first card, but I think I was able to tune in for the second one. Here, have some pearls for your services.
and he just lays down like the pearls that he gambled with the dolphins earlier.
She basically
just
has a
sort of-
tip jar because people leave shit all the time on her on her desk, and it basically just leads into a funnel for the next day's chest that the dolphins will continue to build or lose.
Well, there I'm refilling it with a bunch of fancy pearls.
Thank you again.
All right,
I didn't catch your name.
Theodora, but I should hope to see you again.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
It,
Good day.
it does roll off
lady.
the tongue when you say it as well. Aw, wow. And then, she's like, that's good. Very happy about that. So Tamir, Halfax, and Zin, you're finally all in the same room, and there has been already some talk of where the trouble lies.
I'm up for a walkabout. How about the rest of you?
My calling is to seek my fortune until I am called home or in my grave. Suppose there's not much else.
I believe I have one final goodbye I have to say before we do head out.
You are allowed all the time you
So,
need. Please.
yeah. So I
As
go
do
over
I,
to,
but I-
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm gonna make my way over to Theodora real quick again.
Yes, my
And
child.
you could finish
Well,
up.
While they're on their way there, my character's just like,
I too have a look over to Tamir and I'm like, I too have a meeting. but with the privy. Be back.
Best of luck. And Tamir will just say, while we're on talk of goodbyes, and draw a small piece of paper and begin scrawling with a small quill he has on him.
So cute. Theodora, it's a pleasure to see you again so soon. How can I help you?
Well, this is the official goodbye. For now, again,
okay.
remember, for now, I will return and I will be victorious and we can all celebrate and it will be a party like nobody's business. Promise me that, okay?
I promise, but I haven't even told you exactly what you're doing. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you returned, but I'll give you a little bit of a brief. And so she sort of like flips the table with the cards to reveal like a strategy map on the back of it. Pulls out her like quill, you know, and like her like abacus, like the visor, you know, going from like spiritual immediately to like very savvy, very, you know, and
God, is
without
Tamir more
skipping
in
a
love or
beat.
am I? Jeez.
starts putting
A little bit of
abacus
both.
down and says, "Listen, we have 3 survivors from last week who were able to make it back from their adventure, but unfortunately, not all of them were able to make it. I think it would behoove you to speak to at least some of them prior to going. It's just you should be kind of it can be a little scary, but what's important is that you stay calm. Take the advice and listen to what their readout of the situation was. Tamir here has already made enough friends for the lot of you. I think there's some pirates upstairs who owe them a favor. Them and the dolphins who now serve under Halfax. I think between the pirates and the dolphins, you should have ample reinforcements for your adventure today. And it's true. Each of you did acquire your own thing to bring.
Mine happened to be the
Excellent.
street sharks.
Street dolphins.
Street dolphins, my bad.
That's their name.
Not even
That's
as
their like
cool.
crew name though.
There it is, the street
Sharks.
dolphins. You're welcome.
Excellent street dolphins.
Dolphins are the sharks
Actually,
of the streets.
dolphins are ruthless creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes more so. So
They're
you know,
nasty.
They're both pretty scary.
They're not cute. They're nasty.
Yeah.
Does she give me the names of the ones who survived or anything indicator?
Yeah. She says you can just go right upstairs and they'll basically be like, you know, they'll be sitting at one of the tables. She's already kind of like got them waiting for you. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, Tamir, Halfax is in the privy, and Tamir is there. Let's go meet them first, and then after that we can have Tamir see if they want to speak to the pirates to bring them along, and likewise to Halfax if they want to bring the dolphins of the street sharks along.
Street sharks.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm very much 34 years old, and I used to watch that when I was a kid so much. I love street. Anyway,
nice. You go upstairs, and you do see a fairy, a black cat, black rye cat, and a purple-haired sea folk, just like you and Halfax. Not the hair, but at least the ancestry. You do feel a sense of kinship, as if you've gone through something similar recently. And so there's a little bit of empathy to be had there. They do seem sad. They seem to be sort of huddled around, and there's a much darker aura around them as compared to the other tables around you. You're more than welcome to go speak to them or give Tamir a chance to speak to their pirates first.
I'm
Definitely down,
interested
like-
in going with Tamir to meet the pirates because my character is a retired pirate and he's kind of like.
Let's see. I'd love some
Admire.
backup in doing that with from one of the either two pirates here besides me. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, you got 2 pirates come along with you. You're fine.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Let's go talk to some pirates. Then, I suppose.
I imagine
my.
that my character's a lot like one of those older gentlemen that's like a military vet, like when they get around like a younger guy who's still in the service, they're just like, oh yeah, what you shooting over there these days, it's just like kind of
It's giving me huge vibes of like the one nerd in college who happened to make frat boy friends going to talk to another group of frat boys. Being
Yes,
like, I am so far out of my element right now. Just
no, that's so accurate.
Is this a ye olde broadsider? Okay, so you do go speak to the
Exactly.
pirates, and they're like, Tamir, good to see you. And sees like this old pirate like coming around the corner. Halfax, would you happen to have tattoos on you of your mariner life? Or any other
Yeah,
identifiers?
and my character, he probably would not necessarily proudly wear them, but not hide them or anything.
I'll say that you're a little trashed, and your shirt is like to the side, revealing a little bit of a patch of skin that wouldn't
I've got
normally
an
be
anchor.
revealed.
An
Yeah, and
anchor
it's
on
like
which-
it's an anchor with a specific like ornamentation or marking.
like a skeleton
They see it.
behind it.
Oh yeah, the skeleton. They see it, and I know you're making it up, but I'm gonna run with you. This is what they say
No, of
about it,
course.
right? The
No, it's
pirates,
perfect.
the pirates, yeah, the pirates look at you, and they immediately like their faces go white. They like drop their beers all over the floor. They're like, "You fought with the black sails." The black sails were sailors who fought against or with Kern, depending on the year, and are basically comprised of like Nazgul and Death Knights, essentially,
Oh, Lord.
right? And like vampires. So it's a very like
Yeah.
strong, powerful naval force. So they stop and they're like, "Holy fucking shit. They're gonna make fun of you," but now they're not. They're like,
Yeah, my character
just
was
looks-
like a kind of almost like a
Tamir's like-
translator. My character was kind of like almost a translator between the living and the dead because he's got like all these like all the spiritual magic that he's capable of and stuff. So it's kind of like and that was kind of what his role was with all of these.
"So that's
undead
good for
pirates.
me to know." Do you tell them, or do you kind of like ham it up?
No, I'm just
Baron
telling you.
Hammett,
I'm just
are
telling
you
you. Sorry. No. Yeah. He goes.
You
He
can
looks
lie to
down
them
at his
about what
tattoo
you
and
did.
he's
Like,
like,
yeah, like you're a translator.
Sometimes I forget about that thing, but yes, of course I led the black sails during a number of raids, successful ones, mind you.
Yep. Tamir's just nodding along and being like, "Yep, totally. Did that thing." he
Why'd
said,
you
I don't
waste
know what
all
we're
this
talking about."
beer?
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
like,
"We're starting another
they're
bar
like,
fight, please."
yeah, they're like, "What? Oh my god. Okay, well, yeah, we dropped our beers because I thought, I don't know, if you look a black sail in the eye, they'll kill you, they'll raise you.
Oh, I stopped
We'll
doing
take ya.
that at least a decade ago.
Minimum a decade. Tamir says, having no idea what the hell this is about.
They look at your other arm. They're trying to see like if there's any other marks of like how many. They're like, oh shit, you got
at this
like
point, my
Killmonger type
character's
tattoos,
sauced
like-
enough. He takes his shirt off,
Oh,
and
my.
he's got all sorts of like markings that, and he's like just starts going on. It's like,
These tally marks right here were how many heads I had collected in my closet one summer. And these were how many flowers I successfully grew on the ship.
and he's like,
Gotta keep up with your hobbies, while you're out at sea.
recently.
Rain, you unfortunately
the
put anime
Theocracy-
in my head. So I'm just imagining this
Oh.
like a scene of Halfax just kind of like deeply narrating over his tattoos with like really really serious music. Camera slides over a little bit. Tamir's standing there. He's also taking his shirt off. He has no idea why this is happening right now, nor does he have any tattoos.
We're just
He's
doing
also
it.
taking his shirt off because he's trying to be included.
We're just
I'm
doing
just
it.
staring at them all shirtless, like,
This is not the
What?
first time I've taken my shirt off in a game with
No.
Anthony as the GM.
It's not the first time. You know, it gets serious when it happens.
Baron Ham took his shirt off in that one
Baron Ham,
negotiation
I
scene.
loved it.
Just to throw a wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah, it was like so like I had nothing else going on, like shirt off. So the Theocracy of Jarzon, which was kind of like a patriarchal society, was recently overthrown. As a result, there's been like a kind of cultural revolution or shift in the region recently, where a lot of monks are being way more open about their same-sex sexuality tendencies that they weren't before, and due to whatever oppression they were feeling at the time. They're a lot more open about it now. So monks, like nearby, you like start blushing, and start like giving like thanks basically, and like being awkward about it, but they're basically like, wow, like this is a great time. Like I'm so happy to be back in Aldis. Thanks everybody
I'm
for
going to
hosting us.
very
again.
shyly put my
Tamir's-
shirt back on.
Yeah, Tamir's. They're like, oh, sorry, yeah, not. They're like they get very shy, like they blush, go right back to drinking. They're like, okay, come on, everybody, like keep your head in the game. We're here for studies. We're here for scholarly. Like, all right, we're just getting like, don't bother anybody.
Studies now.
Yeah, don't bother anybody, okay? We're trying to be weird, and they're like, get back down. We're sorry, and like, oh, I love. So that's what happens. But Halfax, yeah, the pirates are scared of you. They're happy to talk to you, and they're like, listen, we don't need to hear anymore, okay? Halfax, Tamir, you clearly have your heads on your shoulders. You know what we're doing. We'll follow you anywhere, okay? So I don't know what island you're going to, but our ship's ready. We've been drinking all week. It's time for us to throw ourselves at something, okay?
Perfect time to pilot a vessel.
If you say so.
No,
Kazim,
you
I trust you're
understand.
the competent pirate amongst this group, yes?
There's a science behind it. You gotta understand. When you're inebriated, you have a bit of a flow to you, and it matches the waves.
You ever seen the look when like you're somewhere you absolutely don't want to be and don't have a way out, so you're like panic staring at somebody like, please get me out of this? Tamir's giving that look to Zin right now, just like.
I look over to Tamir, like, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry. I've had at least one excursion with Halfax. It was very brief. Don't worry. We see folk. We see everything, and we got this. It's gonna be okay. Don't worry. And I look over to the rest. Pleasure to have you aboard.
And you, Romer. And they like salute to you, and they sing like a sea shanty to you. And they're like, oh, we did it. All right, good practice, guys. Like, they like did some voice warm-ups, like some choir, and they get it out there.
I love them. They're my
Like an
favorite.
acapella troupe or something.
They're my
Yeah.
favorite. I love them. Can we keep them?
You
Yes.
are.
Acapella,
Yes, you can.
acapella
They're
pirate.
more than
Right.
happy to go with you.
They're my
Absolutely.
Barley
favorite,
walked
and
It's
I
the best
adore
of their
them.
shanties. We got this, and I'm singing along
Yeah.
with them too.
We're keeping
Was
them. No
yeah,
question.
you're doing like
They're
the aqua like Konosuba, like you're drinking and singing with them, like shoulder to
Yeah.
shoulder.
My character's just
Barley,
going, just
Barley
keeping beat.
comes
and,
down
like,
from the table and pays them, and was like, "Thanks, guys. Like, I just wanted to make sure we had that shanty ready for them when they got back up here." And like Barley's like is clearly like a planned like special song for you. They do sing other songs though, but that one was planned. And then they go back. Barley goes back to the bar.
Of course.
So we're all having a good time, and then like camera pans back to Mora, Daisy, and Parrot, who are like very sad, still over whatever's happening in the other tables. So, Zin, are you going by yourself, or are you bringing Halfax and Tamir?
I'll bring Tamir. Halfax can go with can still carry on with the others. Tamir looks like they need a little like break. So I'll just like slyly loop an arm around and just walk over.
I can round
And
up.
Halfax
I
can come
can
along
round up the
whenever, but-
dolphins
Yeah,
I can round up the dolphins and stuff while y'all are doing that.
that sounds good.
Things moving.
Okay,
Tamir's not
perfect.
supposed to
Let's
alert
handle that real
himself,
quick
so
because that'll take
when
less
pulled, he
time.
gets pulled.
Yeah, like that'll take less time. So Halfax, so Zin, you're about to walk up to the table. Halfax, you go down to go see the dolphins. Henry, Jimmy, and the others are like crying, but they're trying to make each other feel better with some dolphin fight club. So they're like standing right side up and like in the tub, and they're trying to like
Hey,
flipper punch each
Calm
other.
down, you all. And he takes his staff and starts like hitting the floor.
Like they stop, they like spit some dolphin blood out, like feeling a little better. Like, okay, what's up?
save that energy for some friends and I. Hold on a second. That stuff you gave me was potent. I just want to come out and say.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
A word.
thank you for that. My back was killing me. Do I even have a back anymore? Probably not. But anyway,
Can't feel it anymore because
long
of the
story
toxins.
short, I'm putting a crew together. I already got some people, and I got a ship, and I need some kick-ass dolphin people like yourselves.
Oh, you need some muscle? And they like, start cracking flippers and start like snapping their neck and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
what
all
I
right,
need.
okay. Any trilby can call us in whenever they need to, right? Like, no
Alright.
worries. You possess the trilby. We'll be waiting right here. And they all like
You all
start
can-
starship
you-
troopering.
You
Sorry,
all
go ahead.
can swim alongside the ship. I'm just kidding. You can ride on it.
So some of them will like to go on and take their beer, and some of them definitely do want to go alongside, whatever they wish. But yeah, they're straight up like they're like, you son of a gun, like I'm in, right? And they go to the
Excellent.
pool, to the estuary, and get ready. They start like gearing up, and they like whenever they see you depart, they'll like meet you up the river and in the bay.
Cool. All right.
All right, so back to Zin. Zin, you finally approach Mora, Daisy, and Parrot. Again, this is a sea folk, a fairy, and a rycat. Parrot is the rycat, Daisy is the fairy, and Mora is the sea folk. And so that's kind of where we're at currently. And so this is out of character. This is actually last week's party. And so they did return. They won in their mission to stop well, I'll wait. But they did succeed somewhat, and they did lose somebody. And so they look at you and they're like, "Can I help you?" Says
Hey.
Mora. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Hey, you're Zin.
Yeah.
I've seen you around sometimes. What's up?
Yeah. I'm taking a good trip in a comfy place for me. Yeah, I've been around here. You've probably seen me a couple times. God, I heard about what happened. I'm sorry. That's never easy. Is there anything we could do?
Yeah, actually. So a little bit of context. Parrot is immediately like, "Listen, okay, someone fucked up. Like, they didn't tell us the whole story. We got there. Uh, Clearly, there was some ghost stuff going on. We took care of the ghosts. We took care of all the supernatural, or at least we think that we did. I guess there were two supernaturals. One from thousands of years ago, and one from only cut like 20 or 30 years ago. So we know that we got the ones from thousands of years ago, but we don't know if we got the one from 30 years ago." And Daisy's like, "Yeah, there's 3 villages. There's 2 underwater and 1 above water." And so there's like all this like nonsense of like multiple villages, different dimensions, like liminal spaces where people can be at the same place, but because they're in a different dimension, like you can't see the other ones. And so kind of like horrifying stuff in that regard. Um, Apparently they explained that the village above, who is still currently being like inhabited and was still fine, all the people are like missing. But again, no blood, nothing's been destroyed. They had to leave. They had to get out of there, and they lost one of their compatriots, Mirren. Mora starts to sadly and somberly cry for a little bit. It seems like Mirren wasn't ever really here. Mirren had died long ago, but his spirit had attached itself to the beach that he was from, and from there wandered until eventually he made his way here. Um, Mirren had to stay back where he came from, with himself, with the ones he murdered, his mentor, and the others. He's paid for his crimes, but that doesn't mean that the other townsfolk need to lose theirs. Please, go and find out what happened to them.
Of course. Is he stuck there like in a dimensional way, or is he bound there because of what he's done?
At first, he was bound, but eventually he found peace, and he took back that entire dimension and the spirits therein. He was able to successfully excise them and take them somewhere else. I truly believe that Mirren's at peace now. Still, though, the townsfolk never returned, and that mystery is still unsolved.
Well, hopefully we can find what happened there and maybe bring him back, and he can tell you the full story if that's able to happen. I don't know if he's attached himself to another body or what yet, but I'm one with spirits as well, so I might have a leg up on this.
Oh?
Oh yeah, I can.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's
Dun,
nothing.
dun, dun.
Tamir also kind of quirks an eyebrow, just.
I can summon
Just like
them.
that. It's true.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
I predict a
Tamir's
Halfax
really
Zin summon
magic
spirits.
brain dead.
Yeah.
Tamir's got a big spear and a bigger shield.
And an even,
it's okay. We like a himbo.
and an even bigger heart. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
nice.
I'm just out here, all
And
right?
so it makes us so
This
happy.
magic stuff's great and everything, but
Okay. Well, I'll show you the route that we had. Listen, whatever you do, just leave the lighthouse alone. It's over and done with. But there's still something else there.
Would I, out of character, know about the lighthouse or what that's about?
Yeah, essentially that's what so the lighthouse was an ancient structure from the old kingdom thousands of years ago. So it was really like an artifact. Then its purpose was forgotten and then reutilized when the town was rebuilt. So they just used it like a regular lighthouse, but really it was like spirit font kind of thing. And so Murren was tied to it, and that's how he was able to go out for so long. Eventually, the spirit font like collapsed. Murren came back, like controlled the spirits again, and now like its power has faded. So it's not really there anymore. It's kind of like crumbly and like basically a remnant. But to you, it would look like a lighthouse from the outside. So just like they're just like stay away from the lighthouse.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was gonna actually, well, you gave me all the lore I needed. I was gonna do a history lore check, but that works.
Well, you certainly passed it. You certainly passed it. So
Yes, I got a +2
good job.
in that. So
Yeah. Auto success. Boom. It's instant conviction. That's great. Okay.
perfect.
Okay, so we know what we have to do, and we're gonna start to sail with our pirate friends, and our dolphin friends, and we will see everybody back at the island, after our break, which should be about 10 minutes long. So see everybody back in just 10 minutes for the second half of our Blue Rose game. Bye, everybody. first thing we come back to is the horn of Weave the Tail blaring as Tamir and their pirates, Halfax, Zin, and their dolphins all swayed along, going towards this island south of the matriarchy of Lartien and north of the Pirate Isles, back to where we came from. So, upon yeah, that's what they're like. That's what you hear, and it's basically like this, wartime, like
That's
fist
me
up.
talking to
Wait,
them.
stop here. Yeah. Oh, really? I was gonna say like that's
I
them
My
responding
guy
to
speaks
you.
Dolphin. My guy speaks
You speak. Yeah, well,
And
you
I
have
turn
second
around and I
context.
just go,
just-
I heard that.
He's actually just drunk and just like
Oh my-
seeing
Just
if he can
making
talk
dolphin
to them.
sounds. Seeing
Oh.
if
But
it
the whole time he's
translates.
been talking to him so far has been through like telepathy, basically. So like he's just like trying.
See, I
Exactly.
understand dolphin actually, so like
What did I say?
you guessed really good with that if that's the case. So
Yeah, and unfortunately, Tamir's just a bit dumb. So Tamir's just like, "You speak dolphin?
I reckon I do.
You speak dolphin?"
I reckon. You're like, yeah. You start.
It's a sea folk thing. It's like a secondary language that they teach us because there's so many freaking dolphins, and then they warn you about the dolphins because dolphins are amazing, and they just want to make sure that you get
They're very
indoctrinated
strong.
to the
These
culture a little
dolphins.
bit.
These dolphins are very strong.
So no.
Oh.
Dolphin. It's a sea folk thing. Don't worry about it.
Incredible.
These are some strong dolphins.
Just buying
you
it.
get
No idea if
taken-
you're bullshitting or not. Just totally buying it.
My character shrugs like he
Yes,
doesn't really know either. He's like,
It might be a generational thing. I'm sorry.
Who knows?
Yeah, so you it's like I'm happy that you're so happy because the backdrop, I should clarify, this is the Scattershar archipelago, where the sea folk mainly reside, and to its north are the Barren Islands, and even past that the Shadowed Islands. So it's like straight up this Silent Hill, foggy, always twilight area, and everybody's like shooting the shit, having a great time, like like clicking,
Gotta
and
keep your
it's
spirits high.
and there's like this very sullen, like demonic aura, which is good. I mean, it keep your spirits high.
we're driving.
in
We're
What,
the
this
area.
isn't normal
we're
for
driving
you?
into hell.
No one notices you get in there. It's you dock. The pirates leave the ship off and take a couple of like smaller boats over to the shore. A couple of you are able to ride on the dolphins to the shore. A couple of dolphins whisper to everybody in the party. Tamir is in, but especially Halfax. Listen, bosses. If you got to bounce, just hop on one of us and hiya, and we'll get the heck out of Dodge. So you have a quick
That's
emergency
good to know.
escape with your dolphin if you want one.
I believe no one
Excellent.
behind today.
I like it.
Nice.
Wow, that was so funny.
A couple of dolphins reach ashore. They armor up. They put on some spiked or like glass knuckles. And they just like get ready, start posting up. Couple of pirates, like coral hardened, sharpened coral
I
knuckles
love
is
them.
such a
They're
perfect
my
idea.
favorites.
Got a couple of blow darts that they keep in their blowholes that have like the pufferfish toxin inside, so they can just like really quick to anybody.
See, they don't even need to do that. All they have to do is keep their mouth shut and then push all the air through. It's like
Turn
Yeah,
around.
Yeah, just turn around.
I'm making the noise, but they can just like porcupine back show
Yeah.
and just exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
So
cool.
like so Dolphin Team 6 posts up, right? The pirates are all good. And everybody's like, ready. You arrive and you're able to survey the island to your leisure. It's the first thing that you see is what looks to be like a sea folk town, actually similar to what Halfax and Zin would have known. In fact, it's kind of like it's like too well put together. It's like very like city planning is really nice. It's like very affluent. There seems to be a lot of resources in the area, and there seems to assume a higher level of like of standard of living than is common for the area, because these are like the Barren Isles. These are like Ghost Place, Shadow Place, Demon Place, where many sea folk are not. It's kind of weird to see something so pristine this far out. So,
Can I do either a perception or an intelligence on this?
hit
Just
it,
to see if there's any additional
get it,
things that
get it,
can.
get it, hit it, hit it. Yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
hey, let's go.
Hey.
Alright.
Hey.
Hey,
Why am I such a
Um,
child?
How many
Like
the
TikToks
three.
was it the island boy one earlier? And then
I
there's another
know.
TikTok.
I
Island
wanted you to
boy.
remind
By the way,
me.
dab on it, dab on it.
Is
I'm
it
glad it was off
3d6?
Yeah,
stream. Is all I'm saying.
it should be
I'm the one that did
3d6.
the
Yeah.
accent. I was
Eh,
not proud of it.
That's
Reroll. You want to use one of your 6 conviction?
yeah. I'll use one of my rerolls. See what happens.
Yeah, get it.
That's better.
That is better. Okay, awesome. Um, you know. Okay. As you walk through areas, you can start to hear sounds associated with what you see. So, what do I mean by this? This, town was said to have had people missing as of 2 weeks ago. And a week ago, Mora, Parrot, and Daisy were already saying that even as long as a week ago, there was still like warm food and like lit candles on the table, like stoves on, teapot kettles like whistling. And so you come back and it's the same. Like nothing has changed. It feels like it's a very lived in place, but there's nothing. So, you pass by like a small like child's playground and you hear like adults yelling like "Wah, wah," like very like little very quick sound bites, but only when you like turn your head and you look in a new area for a split second, but you keep moving so you hear enough of them that it's obviously something.
Can I do a magic spell?
May I do magic? Yes, please.
Made new magic spell.
Magic, please, GM.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how to do a magic spell, so that's why I asked it in such a way. Anyway,
Oh,
no, I have a
just tell me
general
the name of the
idea
spell
of
and then
how to
we'll.
do a magic spell. Okay, cool. You can look it up for me. That'd be so sweet of you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah,
like
yeah.
to.
I would. Yeah,
I want to.
exactly.
I'm thinking going into this place, maybe we could get some insight if we talk to some dead people. So I've got the summon spirit spell, and I also have another friend who has it. Maybe we could combine our summon spirit spells
Yeah,
together
I
and
was
do
actually
some
kind of
extra,
thinking that.
do a little seance real quick before we go on this spooky island. Maybe find out what's
I'll
up with
stand
it.
guard.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Try not to scare
Also,
easily. Try not to scare.
so actually, a
You
quick
get,
question. What does
uh,
second sight do?
yes.
Also, I
I
have that
had it.
also.
Yeah, I got it right here. So there's a couple things you can use with Second Sight. You can sense Arcana, so you can sense like other spells that are ongoing. You can sense psychic contact, so you can see if anybody else is speaking with each other psychically, and you can read an arcane signature to see if there's like it's like a slightly different version of Sense Arcana, whereas Arcana is an
Okay.
active spell. Arcane signature is just like the remnants of like enchanting.
Detect magic, like
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like detect magic. Yeah, yeah,
So I
exactly.
actually want to do that, but if I can also aid, if we could aid each other in both of
Mm.
those,
Spirit
like I can
summoning
do
and
second
second
sight
sight.
just to get a quick lay of the land even more so, and then they could do summon
Okay.
spirit.
Okay,
Yeah, I
ideal.
can get with them, then
Um,
we can do like a little seance, like a little group seance where we both hold hands and like combine our cool
Yeah, like
magics
we're just
together.
like channeling.
Uh-huh. That'd
the
be
Yeah.
cool.
the Anbu members that you've taken with you, the dolphins, like they approach like out of the
Anbu
sky and they
member.
fall. They're like kneeling. They're like no update. You say okay, they hop back out. They like scatter. Into the dark. And you do so. So doing both at the same time, I think that second sight, the Sense Arcana would be best. So if Zin, if
Okay.
you're using Sense Arcana, that would be you're beating a target number of 11 on a
Okay.
perception roll.
Okay. Perfect.
And for Halfax, you're doing an intelligence check. 13 plus 11 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 plus and you're trying to beat 15.
Okay, with
Okay, so let me
the
see what
summon
I have on
spirits.
my perception.
Yeah, with summon
I'll
spirits.
So
let
it's
them
gonna
roll
be
first.
2.
Oh, sorry. It's actually no. There's no like you do have to roll intelligence to see how many, but you don't have to like beat anything. Zin does have to beat something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll just wait for Zen to
So
roll that.
that, and then on my intelligence, I have a +2, so that's a 12.
12. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
wait,
you do
hold
pass.
on, yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
What does the
Yeah,
scene look
you're
like?
good.
I imagine we have got some candles going and like some cards laid out and all sorts of like just like a classic mysticism scene on a ship. Couple of pirates. Couple of magic
Oh wait, no,
pirates.
we're in a town now, yeah, or outside of a town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
this is a town and in a weirdly nice town on an
okay.
island that
Okay,
was
I thought
generally
we were
full of
on the
demons
ship.
prior.
For some reason I thought we were on the ship anchored out off the island for some reason.
We just got off that.
Yeah,
Now we're heading
sure,
towards
baby.
yeah,
Okay,
we're back on
excellent.
land. I'm much more comfortable
Gotta
with as I'm the
exchange
only
your bee
non-pirate here.
legs for the,
It looks like
you
mini
put your sea legs
Bowerstone. If
on.
anybody's played Fable, looks like mini Bowerstone, but on an
Oh my
island. So
A little
gosh.
it's
beach
weird. It's
seance it
weird
is then.
that London
That's
is
very weird.
on an island. Yeah, it's strange. It's weird. Like
Very, very strange. Yeah, Tamir's just on guard
Huh.
right now. You know, shield up, lance in their hand, just
Shields
kind of
up.
keeping himself on a guard kind of around his friends now, making sure nothing, no weird shit pops up on us. I don't know
Best
how
friend
magic
pirate on
works.
the right, Anbu Dolphin
Look,
on the
we're
left.
speaking to dead people. It's fine.
Listen,
Yeah, speaking of dead people,
So
okay, ability
What
Halfax,
do I
roll
value.
see
that
with
in
the
check for
second
me.
sight also?
Yeah. So
Okay.
together, combined Sense Arcana with Summon Spirit, that'll kind of be the same effect as another spell that's called Sense Minds. And so Sense Minds reads that you can detect the presence and location of other minds, and the Summon Spirit will allow you to actually manifest them temporarily and speak with them as you approach them, right? Um, so what was that we just rolled? Okay,
Aren't I
perfect.
supposed to add my ability score to the roll?
It did there, and your total was 12, and it says that
Okay.
you got 3 stun points. So
Oh.
now you have
Because I
4
got
stun
matching
points.
dice.
Yeah, exactly. So you got 4 stun points,
That's
and so
so
now you can do more
cool.
stunts in the future. I would say that one
That is
if we do end up fighting, a common combat stunt that I like to use is called lightning attack. It's 2 points for 2
Yeah.
attacks. Like pretty good. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
That's cool.
Uh,
I have a staff, so,
so
you know.
nice. So it was 11. It was a target number of 11 to summon the spirit. You got it. So there's a couple of spirits that you detect. Zin, you detect
Yeah.
the mind of a child, of an older person, of a baker, and of a scholar.
What a mix.
And they are like respectively. I know we don't really have a map for it, but it would be like, one at a bakery, one at a school, one near a playground, and like one at another retail store or a house in the middle of the town.
Okay.
What shall we ask them? What happened here on the island? Any...
Sorry, I got bakery, school, playground, and what else?
We'll go with like storefront, like general storefront.
Okay. Cool. All right. All right. Oh God, who do we go to first? Who would know the most information? Oh God, like kids see everything.
The scholar could tell us historical facts about the area that could be of use.
I mean, I have a rough idea of what this place should be.
We need to know what happened recently, though. You're right.
We should. I'm here for the scholar, or we can ask a kid. Because kids see everything and don't tell adults everything, but they're the most sneaky.
Can we tell
so either of them?
Could we tell which spirit has most recently entered the spirit realm?
I'd say that most recently was actually the kid.
Okay. Well, that's who we should talk to. Then,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep, kid.
Here, child. We only wish to speak to you.
So, the child introduces themselves as Ash. Ash goes by they, them. Ash says to you, oh, okay, wow. Didn't actually take that long for somebody to find us. Kind of weird. Thought we were supposed to be in paradise forever. And paradise means not talking to weird, drunk strangers like this person.
I have since
Don't-
sobered up.
He
since what?
he is
Since
only
Since the start of this
slightly since sobered
conversation.
up. Pardon him, he drank dark viscous of drink.
It was the
He-
toxin
it-
of a sea urchin.
It's so strange. I like to say to this child.
Don't worry about him. You could speak to me. I'm better with words than he is right now.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
fascinated
trust you.
that this ghost could sense my liquor breath. But continue.
I think
You're the
it's-
dead one. You're in hell. I'm in the real place.
Oh, that's quite possible. My liver has been quite sore for a while now.
See? Zen is like,
So-
Ash turns to Zen and
Yeah.
is like, "Oh, okay, you seem to know what's going on. How can I help you? The faster I can get strangers out of here and get back to my day, the better."
Oh, trust me, we want the same. We actually had a group of travelers that they came through recently but lost one that was supposed to stay here. Would you know anything about that?
Oh, actually, how do you know about that? Yeah, yeah, I do. See, when the Great Transcendence uh, was supposed to happen, we were supposed to remove ourselves of pain and join with, I don't know, the great ones around here. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean, but you're supposed to elevate consciousness, is how the scholar explained it to me. But I don't really care too much about that. All I knew is that I was going to get to see my mom again, and that's really all I care about. And you know what? I thought it was like a lie at first because I mean I don't really remember actually. That's what I'm trying to say. About a week ago, I don't really remember when we left, but I know that a week ago I came back. And now I'm in heaven, and it's the paradise that was described to me, and I'm doing pretty good. My mom's here, my dad's here, like my dog is still here. Like I miss Spot, but
Tamir turns around
So-
suddenly. You saw your mother again?
yeah, I know, isn't it great?
I
Oh, have you met someone named Mirren while you were here?
Okay, so that's what I don't know that person, but I can feel that person. They're like underwater somewhere to the southwest here, buried. But what I'm trying to get at is that whatever Murrin did brought us back. Before that, I only remember snippets of dark pain, but just snippets. And now I feel like myself again. Whatever Mirren did, we were kind of in his debt. So I kind of he's good, like he's he- he's fine.
That's interesting. Huh.
Now, I mean, we know that he's dead already. He kind of sacrificed himself. So that's what I mean by we're in his debt. Uh, but nothing we can do now but live on his memory. It's somebody who how can somebody from hell interact with us here in heaven? I don't know. But only he could. And now he's gone, but we're still here. So if you could just leave us alone, or at least me alone, and I can stay with my family, that would be best. You're up to no good, you
Yeah, no,
strangers.
we wanted. Trust me, we just wanted if wanted your experience on how things have gone down since we did just arrive and we have limited knowledge only of the crew that left and the crew that stayed, which would be Marin. So
Well, I don't know who wants ghosts in their town, but I mean, nice to meet you.
I'm
Ghost.
always keen on talking to ghosts, so it's fine. I'm okay with us at least.
But you're the ghost. Whatever.
Stop. You
Here's
said
my
that earlier.
It's a rather confusing situation, young one.
Tamir. Yeah,
But
and Tamir.
You said that earlier.
Yeah,
That we're in hell, and
Yeah,
you're the
yeah.
one that's alive.
yeah. Why else would my mom be here?
Well, okay.
At this point, my character
But you
gets kind
lost
of
her already.
uncomfortable and tries to end the ritual. So
Wait,
this
hold on.
ghost
But Laura's
doesn't just
happening.
have
no,
it
no,
full.
no, 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 no.
He doesn't want this ghost's entire existence to just be like completely like
To break the reality.
ruined,
I am
basically.
going as soon as I see Tamir try to do it, I push him out of the way so we can
Pop.
end the ritual the proper way so he doesn't get stuck in a dimension.
That would suck. I would.
So I'm gonna go and
Thanks
just
for
push you
avoiding
out of the
that.
way as soon as I see you trying to interrupt what we're doing.
And
Just
the kid, is like, listen, I know that it's hell because that's what it turned into when my mom left. But now she's back, therefore this is heaven. It's a very young
Oh, so
child.
this is heaven to you 'cause
I
your
would say
mom's
like
here.
like
Got it.
11, like 9, 10, not maybe not super young. 11, 10, but does know the concept of like purgatory, and is essentially like, I'm this is the best place, it is now turned
there
into
is
heaven.
no need.
Therefore, trying to make like little
I-
clauses and then
Yeah, no,
To
leaves it and
make
runs
Tamir-
off.
sure that
no.
he's not gonna lose his ghost mind. Yep.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, he's like
Tamir
it
literally
all still
stops,
works in my
like,
head.
Tamir stops like fighting back the moment the child gives that explanation. I
Yeah, and then
understand.
runs off to the house, but likes you and says, "Listen, if you're gonna stay around for a while, like you need some food, so like I'm just gonna give you like I'm just gonna tell you where my house is." And basically draws it like on a little map and then hands it to you.
Put that in the
And then
pocket.
runs off.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What was your name again?
All
Dang it.
right. Well then.
I'm just
Sorry.
gonna
I think
call
I
him
think I was muted. I said Ash and then runs
Ash,
off.
right.
Maybe I was muted.
Oh, I thought that
You
was
were.
for effect. I thought we
You
were
were
like
like-
couldn't
I thought you
hear
were
him
just
Pretty
like,
cool, like
anymore.
muted
"Hi."
effect.
Maybe I should
Yeah,
go
he's
with
like,
that. Yeah, but it's Ash.
It's like too far now.
Their name
you
is
know,
Ash.
like
Too far. Yeah,
too
yeah.
anyway, that worked out either way. But yeah, my character, he's like,
My apologies. I was just worried for the young man. I often battle with my own existence, and I would hate to be cursed with an eternity of it.
I can understand that.
He's making. They're making the best life for themselves while they're in a purgatory state. So, you know what? That's a good kid. And we now have a map to his place. Actually, do you want to go check that out?
It sounds worthy.
If that's the plan, I'm with you both.
Okay. That's one way to investigate. If this happened recently, we definitely should check their house out.
Evidence.
We
could-
might be able to
lie
see a
around.
little bit more.
So the way that this like spell combo that you guys are doing works out, you can only summon one spirit at a time. So if you arrive at the house, you'll see what you've been seeing, which is like a well-kept place that seems to be in perfect condition. Like There's food on the table. There's food cooking. There's like laundry drying, but there's like nobody there. With your sense minds, you can tell that there's several figures within the house, and you can sort of like pull one out at any point. You also don't know for sure if they are dead or not. They just disappeared, and so saying that they're in purgatory might be a little like preemptive. If you're just like, oh well, yeah, happy spirits, and then like you leave, and then like they're just like alive, like.
It's just the little one mentioned that their mother was lost, and then that they got them back. That sounds to me like death.
Yeah.
In the house. Well, yeah, because I'll let you decide. In the house, however, you do see 3 signals that you can pull out. The same child's like spirit signature, which you can detect, uh, and like and like 2 middle-aged women.
Is there one that feels more motherly?
If you're like trying to sense emotions that way, I don't. Let's get a rollout, which would just be like
Yeah,
a perception
I have a
roll.
+2 to empathy, so
Or empathy. Yeah,
I
fuck
c-
yeah. Empathy for spirit signature. Let's get it. Yu Yu Hakusho. My
yeah,
pleasure.
let's go. And that would be 11
An 11.
with
Perfect.
the
Over the 10.
plus.
Okay. Both of them feel that way.
Heck.
Like strongly. Different. Very
Different?
obviously different, but like they're different people for sure, or different entities for sure. But they both give off auras of being like parental.
Heck. If that's the case, if one feels a little bit similar to the child, whichever that one is. Unless they're both what if they have 2 moms?
That was my thought.
Yeah.
That was my immediate thought.
The hottest mom spirit I sense. I want that one.
The hottest mom spirit. I love that. I love your
Come on,
like
I have
process of
The
deduction.
mommiest mom
I'm
is what we're
emphasizing
going
with
for
the
here.
hot mom.
Ghost
The hottest
I
mom.
can find.
Oh no.
I want that sexy ghost. Was it?
I'm not
Okay.
opposed.
So I will say, perfect. I mean, you do summon, and you get by the name of Grisha, a woman who, if anybody's seen Attack on Titan, looks like Eren Yeager's mom. Has like braid down, like the classic like apron, like I've been baking for a couple hours and left it on the windsill. Is like, hello, why can I not see my wife and kid? Who are you?
Oh, we actually we know Ash.
Yeah, but
Just
how though? Because there's like it's an island and there's nobody else here, and we
oh,
want to be
we
left
just
alone
spoke
because
with
we're in
them.
paradise.
Yeah, yeah.
You did.
Um,
Ah. Okay,
are
what did they
you
tell
the
you?
So they told me that you or your wife recently returned. I'm sorry, there's no name on. He just called you mom. That recently returned after Murren decided to do a nice spell and brought one of you back. Fortunately, because
Well, yes, my name is Grisha, and that would be me, who has returned recently. As this happens, Tamir does get a message from Anbu Dolphin #1. Um, hey boss, we got something. Shadow spawn that we killed emerging from the sea on the island. Um, eyes were red, looked like it had a braid. Do you know anything like that? Anbu Dolphin is like standing right next to Grisha, but can't see or interact with Grisha, and nor her with him. So
Guessing there's a similarity in the way Grisha looks versus the description I'm being given from Ambu Dolphin 1.
100%. Like
Yeah,
Re-Dead from Ocarina kind of thing. Like very scary.
exactly where I was thinking. Oh
Very
my.
spooky.
Oh gosh, how does he even handle this? I think Tamir looks at Grisha and then kind of like thinks on it for a minute, and then looks back at his friends here and just says, "I believe we have to put these people to rest."
I
Mm.
fully
And then we'll kind of
agree.
just gesture at the other dolphin, like you can fill them in.
Yeah, I'll definitely fill the rest of the crew in on kind of our conversation with Ash and uh, his or their parents and all that stuff.
And I'm still talking with Grisha, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I did have a question though. Ash said you were in hell, but now you're back here, so now you're not in hell? Do you know
Yeah, because
how any
we're
of
happy.
that? Oh,
Well,
so
I mean,
it's
it was a
meant.
complicated. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, so it's kind of like semantics of where your mind is. Okay. But you said complicated?
Well, I mean, now it's semantics, but before it was, it was really a pain. Like, I was gone for a while. So, a couple of us who were gone, had to find a way to bring the others here. Um, but we want to make sure nothing happened to them. So we had to pull them through the veil. They didn't actually cross here, they just are here. But yeah,
Scholar.
everybody's happy now, so we're all good.
Oh, so wait, when you say pull through the veil, you mean like, is that what Marin did to help you?
And 1 second, sorry, Tamir, what were you gonna say?
The scholar. Ash mentioned the scholar.
Oh yeah, I hate that guy. All right, he has no idea what's going on. Just completely forget about that. Okay, I don't want to hear anything
Yeah,
about that in
no,
my house.
no, it's
Apologies.
forgotten. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So pull through the veil. Did Myron help with that? Well, Myron. I mean, I don't know what Ash told you about Myron, but we're very thankful. Myron took down the artifact that sealed us away for a little bit, but thankfully, with the lighthouse collapsing, we were able to complete the transcendence.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's good to know.
So
I definitely feel so sad.
don't
You're
really
free
have
to go
food
back
for you.
to your family. Ash also said if we're hungry, we can have food. I just want to run that by you. I know kids are super kind, but I understand food is what it is.
So she's like, "Sorry, no food," and like it cuts to like the door closed on you and like you outside. But as you turn, you do see like a small window open,
Mm.
and or rather like when you walked in the window was closed, but as now the door is closed on you, the windowsill is open and a small plate of delicious food is there, and it looks like when you look through the window it looks like a child's bedroom. um, so obviously Ash has brought back like a plate of food, and like left it
Oh,
out hoping that you'd find it in this
I
liminal
will take the
space.
plate and make the child happy.
Ghost
Mhm.
food.
Ombu Dolphin has successfully captured Re-Dead #1 and has like barreled it up basically, waiting for further orders from Tamir, and like report over, scatters back. You have a moment to discuss it amongst yourselves.
So that scholar, I think we need to talk to.
I would
Something's up.
agree. Something
She's
certainly isn't correct here.
yeah, she was very closed off with that, and they mentioned the lighthouse crumbling, bringing them back. And we were told not to touch the lighthouse,
Oh,
even though it looks like it's fully there.
Oh, it's like ruined. It's like kind of
Oh, it's
broken
ruined.
and crumbled. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
like
would say we speak
destroyed.
to
But
this.
mhm.
I would say we speak to the
Okay.
scholar first, gain our answers, and from there, we either deal with these shadow spawn or investigate the lighthouse. Perhaps those tasks intertwine.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Perhaps.
We have to see where the
So-
One more
stories
time, magic friend.
differ.
I'll guard you all. And this time I want to make absolutely sure that as they're doing this magic thing to get the scholar, that no weird, creepy monster things creep up on us, please.
Could you roll for me?
Head
Strength,
on a swivel.
fighting, or perception? I'll take any of those.
Oh man, so it's tough because I got a +4 in fighting, right? But I got a
Yeah, I'll
+2
take
in
it.
perception, and I have a focus in searching.
Oh, so that'd be the same. It'd be the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go with fighting because I got the it's a +4. So why am I picking up dice? Like I can just press the button on the thing.
I'm good with dice too.
You know, that's fair. Here we go. Boop. Boop. Wait, hold up. I think I screwed up. My bad. Fixing it.
No worries.
There you go.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Like destruction. Okay. So between there's a couple things that you kind of happen in quick succession. The pirates capture like what can only be described as mini Dagons, small tentacled creatures like crawling upon the shore, uh, chanting dark incantations, and sort of like starting to like climb the cliffs of the island, and like setting and like when they get up to the top, they dig themselves into the ground and become like this black tulip, or like man, I forgot the name of that Pokemon that has like poison. It's like blue and has like a
Venusaur?
poof.
Gloom.
Bloom.
It's
Gloom.
it's like it has a flower. Yeah, I think it's Gloom.
Gloom.
I'll be Bloom.
Um,
Bloom.
Yep.
Yep. Bloom. It's
so
Bloom.
yeah. So they do kind of like that once they dig themselves into the ground, and then they start like releasing like this black spore into the air. So the pirates like destroy and capture many of them with the help of Tamir, who I'm sure you spear like 3 of them. In addition to that, you in addition to that, you also do get an assortment of like more of these re-dead coming up that seem to fit, or are wearing old clothing or have like something on their person that denotes their profession. There's like peoples with cobbler hammer. There's a person with a monocle and a book on them, which may or may not be the scholar, right?
Oh
Uh,
God, it's these
a
people.
couple of and a couple of others, but not all of them. Like there's obviously like also because of safety tools, but also there's no child skeleton. So obviously the kid is actually alive. Like so some of them are and some of them aren't. And so Tamir, you do round up, you destroy as many of the tentacle monsters as you can, except for one, if in case you want to study it or do something with it. And you also do capture all of the re-dead until you make a decision on what to do with them. So that's what happens.
Yeah, I think he kind of brings like Tamir, who has been very kind of quiet and timid this whole time as you all have been doing magic things. Like makes his way back over to the group, has like a large like sack over one shoulder. A lot of his armor is very disheveled, like a shoulder pad's like been knocked off, and kind of just like very disheveled. Throws the bag on the floor. The little Dagon plant thing comes out of it. Just and there's also them pointing at all the re-dead. Just I have all of them. Every single one. Oh boy.
You're quite the hero.
That was
Now-
impressive.
Point me to that thing that just made that noise so I can smash it with my staff. Because I
Oh.
hated that.
This is the last one. We should gain knowledge from it first. Find out what's happening.
Probably a smart idea.
You will have
Could
your
we put
time.
it in a
Let me show
different
you.
place away from myself?
That might be wise. He'll put it back in the bag and flick it back to her shoulder.
Thank you. Thank you. I hate it.
We share that feeling. So yeah, I guess at this point the game plan should be to figure out what in the world these things are, right? And see if we can't get some answers, because that might decide what to do with these re-dead, as it were.
Agreed.
Yep.
So who here's got the smarts?
Hey, I'm
I
smart.
mean, I got the historical lore smarts.
That sounds like a thing we could use.
That sounds better than what
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
I just have a 3 intelligence.
Tamir walks up to the two of you, looks at Halfax. It's just like, Zen, if you'd please.
Yep, I got you.
Halfax does not take
so-
offense. He didn't even realize.
So,
Trashed.
would I do like a psychic contact with this as a roll
Oh,
intelligence,
jeez.
or
So you could psychic
That sounds
contact with the
scary.
re-dead. I think that would be a good option. But if you're trying to
Yeah.
do something with the tentacle monsters, like a standard intelligence or perception check would be more than enough.
In that case, do you want to
Okay.
trade off?
Or
I'll perception
with
check
historical lore.
the gross things, and you can do like psychic with the reader, because I got 2 perception.
okay, yeah.
Ayo, yeah.
Let's do that
Let's
then.
tag team this.
Sweet.
Okay,
Let's,
so
trade off.
let's
then.
do Tamir's. Yeah, let's do Tamir's roll first.
Coming up right now. I got a 2 in perception with my 2 focus and searching. So I'm just kind of like looking for anything obvious in this thing, like biologically or form wise, that it tell me like what this thing does and what it's here for. Is my game plan here. That roll's coming out right
It's a
now.
good game plan.
I try.
Okay.
50
So a couple
Ooh,
of the
Knocking 'em out
a
tonight.
couple a couple of the Anbu dolphins and the pirates are trying to like keep this velociraptor circa Jurassic Park 1 in check. It's like wrestling against the cage or like hey, and they're trying to kind of keep it in there. Eventually it does actually like break out, and it's or at least it's able to use one leg to pull one of the Anbu dolphin like towards it. I don't know why I've stuck on this Anbu thing, but
I think
I'm
it's
gonna
great,
go,
honestly, personally.
I'm on it now.
Let's go with that.
Therefore, so it does get caught in the tentacle. It uses substitution, and it replaces itself with one of the pirates.
Speed.
And
Oh, no, not the pirate.
Praise speed.
and-
It does use, which in Blue Rose would be some illusion magic. They are pretty
Mhm.
strong, and as they are, some of them are pretty old, and they're able to replace it with one of the standard pirates. The pirates start singing a cappella, oh, and as the spores reach him, he kind of like
Oh.
fades out, as does too his voice, like oh.
Oh,
And then you
no.
can like hear echoes of it on the wind, as you see another body crawl up the shore.
That's
And then it's like
what's
it's
happening.
another redead, like oh, with like in a wraithly form, right? So spirit still there, body elsewhere.
All right. So we know what's causing this thing then. There's only one question left.
Yeah, experiment. Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
great experimental trial. Like
Now it's just a matter. All right. Well. Oh, I hate this.
you can still talk to the
I think-
redead Zin if you.
Yeah. Let's do that
if
first.
you-
Let's do that first. See if we can figure out if we can find a way to fix this first. That's the good plan. Go for it, Zen. Do
Yep.
the thing.
I would like a reroll.
If you get it,
Yeah,
Conviction.
do something.
Get it.
Do something.
Oh God!
Oh
How
no.
many more do I
Make
got?
use of all.
You
Make
have
use
several.
of all those
You
damn
have-
subs I bought.
We have
Yeah,
6 total.
We have.
You have
okay.
you have 6 total. You've used 3 so far. You have 3 left.
Is this good?
There it is.
I'll actually, it's a little higher. Is this with your focus? Oh yeah, so 12.
Oh,
It would
wait.
be 12 then, right?
It would be 12. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that passes. Yeah, that's good
Whew.
enough. Nice. Okay, so
Yeah,
you
thank
speak with the
My
redead.
focus isn't in the D20 in the roll 20. So.
Oh yeah. No, it's
just
okay,
put
you're
mine
in,
supposed to-
so-
yeah, I think
You have to
yeah, I
program
think
it in
that's
when you roll or whatever.
It's in the
Yeah,
it's the
or
4th
partially.
tab on the character sheet. Focuses.
it's good.
Oh.
Your empathy is clearly shown as you get low and you speak to Grisha's body. You can psychic contact with it. What you get back is like half broken words, like "put me back," like "I don't need to be here," right? And so the body is trying to return to the return to the ground, return to peace, but it has to connect with its former spirit in order to do so. It's like yearning. It's like pointing in the direction of the house that you came from, kind of like clawing at it, like if it could cry, it would, kind of thing. But it cannot. So
That's what we do, yeah.
a little horrifying.
So we need
so
to
I
summon it
relay.
there.
Or bring it. Yeah, you can just bring the
let's
cage
just-
over.
let's-
Just release it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're already experimenting. Let's keep doing that, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I guess we'll
That's currently it.
he'll drag Grisha's re-dead over to the house and not drag, but like escort it. Go to the door and try to open it. See if it'll.
Each of the pirates carry a different cage with you as like the convoy goes. Some of them on carts, some of them they just have to like like harness and like pull it with like ropes.
Mhm.
You go there first, because you really want to want to take away this mommy first. Is like pop pop the cage open. The
I
re-dead
just wanna go
leaves its cage,
first.
enters the house, and like goes towards the table where the food is, sits down and picks up the spoon. As this happens, you can see like brightness of an effect outlining the body, as you can see like her fully fleshed spirit appears an illusion there for a second, fuse back with the body, scream, disappear.
Oh, oh.
uh Unfortunate, but a different Anbu dolphin does report that on a tombstone in a graveyard in the northwest part of the island, her name has returned to the tombstone. Whereas before, it seems like someone they had encountered that all of them were empty and gone. Out of however many are there, one is returned.
That's
And so it
We can
seems
get
like
them to rest then.
you're on the path, although not positive for them, or maybe not for her in particular because she was such a believer in it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the rest of them have the same opinion, right? Like that pirate probably doesn't want to be there. Like,
Yeah. Tamir showing very rare conviction with like not so much order, but very try to like much demand that the pirates line up all of the re-dead in a line. Tamir will go one by one and try to bring them to the spirits, and in each one he will sit them down where they were, look them in the face, and as they are like refusing, just say, "I'm sorry." And he will say
this
that
is like a
every single time
beautiful
for every one of them.
usage. Take 2 conviction for every time that you are in, and I'm gonna clarify real quick here. So Halfax, take a conviction for 3 of chalices. Zin, take a conviction for death because you're changing plenty, like reconnecting these people. And Tamir, take 2 conviction for this usage of the lovers, for like showing warmth and love to like every single person that you're trying to like essentially exercise here. Eventually getting to all of them with the help of your pirates and your dolphin. With the only 4 left being the older person, the child, Ash, the baker, and the scholar.
Speak to the scholar now, then I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still haven't
So
spoken. We still
like
haven't
they don't
talked to
have
them, right?
bodies. Yeah, like they don't have bodies to give them. But
Uh-huh.
and you haven't talked to them except for Ash.
Yeah, the scholar for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we should talk to the
Communicate
scholar.
with them.
We
Yeah.
should.
So you head on over. It's basically like at a school, and in an office near the front of the school, in a grand study. You again, it's like the inkwell is like wet. There's like new documents still drying. Excuse me. So it's still like it's in use. You're able to sense minds, and Halfax is able to use summon spirits to pull them into through the veil again, momentarily to speak with them. And he's like, "Oh, finally." A pleasure to speak with you. And it seems like you've already done most of what I was going to ask you. Pardon. My name is Vincent. Pronouns. I don't know. I don't know how you could completely just do this so quickly. You've returned most of the town. I mean, the graveyard is already filled back up. Most of them have been put to rest. The only ones you need to rescue finally are us. However, if we stay in here much longer, we'll never be able to come back. Ash is already sick. I need you to get them here. I'll look after them. But the baker is steadfast, staunch in their neutrality. They wish to stay out of everything, and until all of us are back, none of us can be. The older one, that cultist, is the one doing this. Fouling our island with Old Kingdom magic, with corruption, using shadow spawn in their favor. Unconsolable, inconsolable, unforgivable. Please, deal with the cultist however you must, but you must bring Ash to me. You must convince the baker. And you must take care of that cultist somehow.
Where are your bodies? You
Right
don't
here.
have them, but
You're looking at it.
how do we bring you back?
Exactly.
we
You break the
Okay.
ritual. The cultist is the source of it.
All right.
Willingly or not, it must be ended.
All right.
As the lady wills it, then. Cultists will fall. We'll bring Ash here and somehow convince this baker as well. Tamir will then look and then say, 3 tasks, 3 of us.
I believe I may be able to convince the baker.
Yeah.
I'm
I
super
was
good to split
thinking
the
that.
party out of character. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good to split the
Interesting.
party.
Let's do it.
So Halfax, you're taking the baker.
Tamir will just turn and look over to Zin, kind of.
I feel maybe cultist unless you want to tackle that. Literally.
I could use a good fight, honestly. I'm feeling a bit of catharsis after all of the things we've seen today. But
Okay.
if you feel it's best.
I feel that at least with the cultists I might be able to level with them. So there might not need to be the fight. I get the ghost stuff as much as anybody. Which is not many, actually.
You were also quite close with young Ash.
Yeah, Ash didn't know you, so let me take Ash.
And the cultists will fall by my hands. You both have this promise.
That's what you must do. That's what we must do.
I made a promise to
You're
do
quite
good.
efficient with. You're quite efficient with that spear. I have no doubt you'll be able to accomplish it.
You give me high praise. Thank you.
All right.
Well,
So
in case to not see each other again, best of luck.
Best of luck.
Best of luck to you as well.
scatter.
Like that one scene in
Everyone's
Bleach
like-
where everyone
everyone's
puts their
like a-
hands in the middle.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
just, like,
Then I'll go
hops
see
out.
eyes.
Yeah, break.
It's my favorite scene of the entire anime, by the way.
And then everyone's scattering very efficiently except for me. I'm just like waddling along with my staff. Like,
Yeah, you're just like trashed. Oh shit, gotta go
let him
talk to the
go.
baker.
I'm also old.
You got old man energy to deal with the old man baker.
Exactly. Gonna work just fine.
So
That's what I figured.
works out. Not he's like middle aged, but the cultist is elderly. So Zin, let's start with you because that'll probably
Yep.
take
Oh.
the least time.
As a request, though,
Oh,
would
sorry.
y'all eat if we grabbed a small break here, maybe? Just like use the
Oh,
doctor
sure,
movie.
yeah. Of course, of course. Let's do a 5-minute break, and we'll return at 11:40.
That would be super
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
works for me.
I'm completely good with that.
Okay, cool, 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 cool,
All
cool.
right, everybody.
I
See you
will.
for a 5-minute break in just a little bit.
Coolio.
Right.
foghorn from the pirate ship blares off and
The
fades.
Horn of
as we
Gondor.
return
What are
back
you
to our-
talking about?
That returns back as we get back to our
No,
island
thank
here.
you.
Okay. So we will be starting off in order of probably how long it's going to take. So we're going to go with Zin, who is returning to Ash at the residence. The candles are out this time, and it seems like the cabin has been like all of the food that was just fresh is now looks like it is 2 weeks old. There's like bugs over it. It's old. Lights are out. The place is like just dirty enough to know that it's kind of abandoned, but hasn't been long enough for anything to actually really change. So
Excellent.
it's like the air is stale, and it wasn't before. So you're at the house. What's up?
Yep. I go to that window where the food was before, and I'm gonna see if I can see them in there.
All right. This is kind of the interesting part, is that you can't summon their spirit because Halfax isn't with you.
I can
You
still
can
summon their
only
spirit. I have that ability.
Oh, what am I talking about? You have it also.
Yeah, we have
No,
like
you
the
have-
same
I also
spell,
have it.
basically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's right. Okay, sorry, my apologies. You can go ahead and
Two fucking
just roll
necromancer,
anything.
sage wizards
Yeah.
here, and then me.
Pretty
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
yeah. But we're both pirates too. It's funny. Just a couple
Right,
of
they're
different
both
pirates.
Pretty great like Goonies
So that is a
situation there,
12.
but
With
okay,
my
ideal.
empathy if we're
Yeah.
rolling off
Big
that.
numbers.
We did need at least an 11, so perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so you can see Ash. Ash sees you. He's like, I left you some food. I don't know where my mom's plural, they now say, went. Um, I I just is this hell? Am I back in hell? If I am, I want to go back to where you are. If that's heaven.
Yeah, no, I took the food, by the way. Thank you. It was great. I did not eat that food, by the way. I just took the plate and waved off. It was like,
Oh,
when I
I
did.
saw you take it. I'm so
Yeah,
happy
yeah. No,
you
this was
ate
out of
and feel
character me
energized.
saying that, by the way.
Oh,
That I didn't eat it.
no, I know. So I guess like I'm making a
Okay.
joke. Like at that point, the child does mention thank you for eating the food, as a
Yeah.
result of you telling me that you didn't eat the food. It's okay. Like it's just
Okay.
a heartstring
Timing.
thing. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but I think we need to go see that scholar. He wants to speak with you. He said, in particular,
Okay.
if if you want to
It,
come with me.
it yeah. If Vincent is still there, I'd love to go see Vincent.
Yeah,
There's
no,
not like
Vincent.
oh yeah, we're good. There's not like if there's nobody else. I mean, who else am I gonna talk to? So I'll go with you.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Yeah.
I, I'm just I'm I feel kind of sick. I don't know. Things are
I
getting a little
know.
darker.
It's
I don't think
definitely
I can.
different from the last time.
Would you be able to carry me? Um,
Yeah,
I'd love
of
to ride
course.
horsey.
Yeah. I got you.
And like mentions, so he hops on. You don't have to roll for it. He's like, I'm gonna name this horse Charlie. And your
You know,
remind
I have a
remind me
Charlie
of
of
your
my own.
really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where you're going must be heaven if you have a Charlie.
It absolutely has to be.
Okay.
There's never a
He's
bad
definitely
place when
feeling
there's a
good about
Charlie
his
horse.
choice. Yeah, he's feeling good about his decision. So you take him over to Vincent. Vincent is like, okay, good. We have the first one. Um, hands them some actual food, and is like, hey, we're gonna get out of here, okay? Like, you're gonna go see your moms again, where they really are. Okay. He's like, okay. It's like he like they know what's going on. Sorry for the misgender. They know what's going on. Um, and they want to like it's time to go back. Like they know it's time to go back. And they kind of leave it, and they're ready to. Yeah, they're ready. So they kind of hop back on. They hop back into a bed nearby, start eating some food, start relaxing, and yeah, just get ready. Halfax, you arrive to the baker.
Hello. I just was
Mhm,
like
mhm.
looking through my stuff. Like, all right.
You arrive to the baker. The baker
Uh-huh.
looks at you and says, "Listen, okay, name's Douglas. It's time for you to step on out of here, okay? I don't know what anybody's going on, but I have plenty more customers for all my bread, and you know what? What am I gonna do with it now? It's gonna go stale. All that I have left is all of this beer that I've made out of the bread that I've made, and
That's
that's the only thing I
unfortunate.
have."
Uh, perhaps, how about I buy your stock off of you? I've got a little bit of a nest egg saved for myself.
Okay, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna buy 500 gold worth of beer right now.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. I'm gonna charge you double though, because I'm losing all my bread. Are you gonna pay 1,000 gold for this beer?
Can we just say that my character's like old and retired, and since old people are rich, like it just has
You
it?
already have the 2,000 gold from what you
Yeah.
won.
Oh, that's right. Shit, I
Yeah.
forgot about
And
that.
and
I was like,
and the Dolphins did mention that you were doubling your wealth, so you already had 2,000. So you have at least 4K on you right now. Like,
can you not? I'm gonna say, can you not hear the sound of my pockets?
and I just start dancing around, like rattling like a change machine.
oh man. They're like, or Douglas, he's like, okay, all right, I fine, all right, 1,000 gold. Like takes it, like doesn't know what to do with it, and it's like, okay, well I want to spend it now, but there's nobody else in this dang town to sell me anything, so I think I'm forced to go with you to be able to actually use this. Ugh,
Yes,
fine, just take me back wherever it is.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Anyway, sorry to manipulate you, but you need to pass on.
Listen, I have a request, okay? I need to see you drink at least one of those kegs. I've worked really hard on it, you know. I want to make sure that
The whole
that
keg.
somebody who just doesn't care about my stock just buys it and throws it into the sea.
Could I perhaps just drink some of the keg?
No. I require one keg.
Oh, fuck. What if I gathered a friend or two to assist me?
Okay, yeah, I'll take
A,
it.
ke- a keg is quite a lot of liquid, and I'm an old man.
It is. I'm an old man. You're more than welcome to bring it to your friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it to the dolphins and or gather the dolphins and then get like the dolphin bros to like just start like doing keg stands and shit. Like, and I will
You
assist.
start flipping and start putting funnel in the blowhole and just start like, yeah, they they did their job. They already gathered up the zombies. They're good, so
The dolphin
they're
bros.
chilling right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
chilling,
they're
bro.
having
Street
they're having a great
dolphins.
Hard
time.
approval, by
I'm
the
glad I
way.
brought the street
The
sharks
street
with
sharks.
us.
The street
The
sharks,
street
yeah.
sharks pound back
Hard
the
approval.
booze. They're notorious.
Oh my god. Hey Hangs
Uh,
man, thanks for the raid. Wow, just
oh,
yeah,
awesome.
we're just talking about some keg standing ninja dolphins essentially.
In a ghost town.
Is
In a ghost town. It's a very nonsensical tale.
in a ghost town. Yeah. To be specific. Okay. So Halfax, you bring Douglas back with you. Zin and Halfax, you have a moment to talk with Vincent, with Douglas, with Ash, if you wish, before Tamir encounters the cultist.
Since we have everyone here, do you think we should go to Tamir for backup?
I believe we should gather everyone if we could. Just to check in, at least.
Yeah. Is there anything we should know about that cultist? And I turn to Vincent.
Well, he's very powerful. A Layvale man, very old, who's lived here his whole life. He lost a person very dear to him a long time ago. Maybe he felt like bringing them back this way was the only way to see them again, and he wanted everybody to live in that paradise with him. I don't know. I think it's safer to stay here with us.
Do you recall their name?
Of
Who
course,
he lost?
Claudia.
You said Audie?
Oh, sorry. No, it's Claudia, but does go
Claudia.
by he, him pronouns. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think we might be able to help without maybe having a whole fight. We can see you. And, well, Tamir is Tamir. I believe in Tamir. But I think they might be able to use our help a little bit more. And then we can come back.
Sounds
You
good.
rush over. Cut. Tamir. You get to where you sensed the spirits earlier and where Halfax and Zin told you they were going to be. And it's actually at the front of the lighthouse. Not in it, but kind of at the small dirt square that leads towards its entrance. You get there and you see this black robed bird mask figure with gold inlay and stole, large ring behind. Um, I see that one of you finally decided to join me. But why do you wish to take yourself away from paradise? Our deity is there, not Exarch, nor Seven, nor Primordial. A new deity, one of many eyes, one of many limbs, one of incomprehensible power, set to remake the world in a perfect image. Do you not wish to live there? You truly happy where you are now?
I know not much of the beyond, and I have not been happy in quite a long time. But you are harming these people. They deserve rest.
Then fight. There is no time for games. That'll be initiative. At this point, Zin and Halfax are not there. In fact, it seems like you're kind of far away. But we'll pick it up and see what's up. So,
Alrighty.
Your speed, I will add you to initiative firstly.
Mhm.
All right. And that would be 13. All right. For an old cultist, it's pretty quick at a speed of 16. Kind of
She's fast.
yeah. So Claudia, he takes his time and he like pours this caustic crimson liquid, kind of like injects it into you in the form of a spell. It's definitely a form of corruption, a form of evil. Let's see if it takes. Rolling definitely some conviction for that one. All right, that's a better one.
13's bigger.
13's bigger.
Are you trying to beat my defense?
Bypass. Yes, which is
16.
Oh, sorry. This is willpower. This is an opposed
Oh,
test, so make a willpower test for me. Sorry, I don't know what I mentioned.
I
Yeah, willpower
have
test for
the
me.
focus purity. Would that apply here?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, then.
100%.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and use that. Oh, that's a big number.
Oh wow, that's a big number.
A maximum
For
roll.
sure.
Oh, can I
Yeah,
use a
maximum
stunt?
roll.
Can I throw a
Yeah,
stunt out here real quick?
you have extra stun points right now. You have 11 stun points, so you can use
Oh
lightning
my.
attack multiple times if you wish,
Oh, I
and
have so many
conviction. You
stunts
can
to
attack,
use.
I
Okay,
think, a
cool.
maximum of like 8 times right now or something.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't even need to use that. I don't think I'm gonna use that many. I'm first thing I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use one of my. I'm gonna use a bond stun actually.
Ooh,
Cause
that's nice.
I
Okay.
got yeah. So I got that going on. Uh, I'm gonna use a bond stunt. I gotta find the name of it real quick. It's as you wish. Pick a task you have been assigned by someone you have a relationship with to perform. Get a +2 of a test that directs relates that for the rest of the session. So kind of the moment that happens is sort of like as Tamir kind of like parries this blast of magic with his shield, knocks it away. There's a brief sort of cutaway to a night he spent with someone very close to him, just the two of them relaxing under the stars, and her talking to him about all the things she's seen and how unkind the world has been, and just
Wow.
says, "Promise me absolutely one thing, no matter what, Tamir." He says, "For you, my lady, anything." He says, "Be good and do good." And so, with that in his mind firmly, he's set to do good, resolve, and do good by ending this threat to these people. And so that's my first stunt. That's 7 of my SP, which I'm fine. I'm fine with spending there.
Oh my god. So, and I'm sorry, one more time. So I mean, I heard the narrative part of it, but maybe I missed like the mechanical part at first. What does As You Wish actually do?
I get a +2 to all tests related to achieving that task for the rest of the session.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, and then you
Yeah.
also get 22 plus, and then you just guarantee yourself a +2 the next time that you'd like to do something similar. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So unable to be corrupted. Um, yeah, loses his turn. It's your turn.
All right. Tamir has his polearm bared and his shield high. He just takes a high stance, the shield raised, the polearm jinted in a slant between it, and just
Phalanx.
charges himself forward.
Ooh.
Determination on his heart and hoping this doesn't get him killed. Here comes an attack roll. That's going to be a check
So
plus
you,
fighting, yeah?
yeah, you can do 2 lightning attacks if you wish. You have the stun points for it. And you also have some conviction for extra attacks if you wish.
Cool. I will use my both lightning attacks, so I can go ahead and get those out of the way. Here comes the first one. Attack total of
As a
14.
hit. Yep.
Second one, and then I'll roll damage afterwards.
Yeah, definitely hit. And yeah, damage afterwards, exactly.
Cool. Damage coming in right now from both. That's 6 twice.
Okay. Takes a damage. Pop, pop. Cuts off some of the robe to reveal like extra limbs. Holding like spiritual fetishes, totems, and other like artifacts. You break one of them, and you see like a portion of the dark clouds above the island dissipate. So it seems like each one, the different totems on him are all seemingly related to the island's status.
Understood.
So that's it.
Yeah.
He goes back,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to attack you again with a spell. Once again, this would be another corruption willpower attempt.
Got it. My roll is a... Oh, jeez, you screwed me there. Yikes.
22 versus a 13.
You
Would
beat
you
me
like to
there.
re-roll to try to beat it?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, why not? Let's see if we can get
All right,
get something a little better there. I'll spend some conviction there. Why not? Come
All right. 3 conviction
on.
left for you.
Oh, nope, not enough.
Okay. Yep. So there's 2 effects. There is a sort of like damage over time effect that is corrupting you on every turn. And then there is also like some raw damage being dealt to you as well. Let's get that raw damage
friend.
out of the way. 17
Big.
minus your armor of 5.
12. Oof. Big chunk out of my health for a first hit there.
First,
Sheesh.
first damage on the dot coming next turn. Your turn again.
Right. Just taking the hit, kind of like trying to glance away from it, just resolving himself. Gonna come forward and see if I can do the exact same thing one more time. Here we go. Lacking the stun points though, so that's just one attack. 16 to
Claudia
hit,
looks
I'm
at you and
assuming?
says, "You cannot." Yeah. Oh, so it does hit. Roll damage.
8 that time.
Takes the damage. Says, "You cannot escape the darkness of the ritual. The Lord must have their paradise."
Inglui muglu nafa katulu rilye vagnagul patagi.
Wow,
paradise
you
is
really
the hell
understood
for
me.
others.
Yeah, like that's exactly. He's like gets very happy about it for a second. He's like, "Wow, thank you." Definitely does. Okay, this one is a weak one. A 14.
Not beat my defense.
I'm sorry, a 16. I lowered the middle
Oh,
there.
that matches it. That matches my defense.
Oh, so no, this is another opposed test. Another opposed
right.
willpower. Is
Again, this
basically,
again.
yeah,
Oh,
basically an attack with those. Yeah.
oh no. Oh no. Oh, hold up. Yep. Oof.
Oof, indeed.
That's so funny that it's like, yeah, definitely lower. Same
Yeah.
thing on the damage.
And what's the damage
So
over time?
12 there. 12 there, plus the dot for this time is going to be 5. So
All
12
right.
total damage. So it's 17 minus 5 for your armor, so you take 12 anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Back to you.
Looking rough. Definitely about it. So yeah, it's definitely looking about, a little tired, a little bloody. At this point, he probably like drops the lance and draws his heavy longsword because at this point he's fighting in too close now to keep using the lance. Which
Nice.
gonna go for that now.
Don't you worry. Your 70-year-old
Defense
friend
lowers to
is
12.
hobbling on his way to save you.
Damage is not great damage there. Only 3. He's getting tired.
Can you reroll the damage?
Yes, I'm gonna reroll damage if I can.
Yeah, you definitely can. 2 conviction left.
All right, that's 7 that time.
Much better. Okay,
Much better.
Looking worse. He's looking worse. It's not looking so great for him either.
Beer's heaving, but he's not out of this yet. I guess that's on to you then.
This will be the last round that he attacks on his own prior to everybody else hopping in. He is going to use some conviction to get an extra major attack, and a second conviction to get and use stun points to use lightning attack. It's going to be 2 extra attacks for him, 3 attacks total on Tamir. So he whispers something like, "If I'm going down, I have to take down one of these that wish to take away paradise. I will hide myself within this one, and when the time is right and the crimson runs again, the Lord will reappear." And attacks a ridiculous number of times. So
a lot of numbers of times.
One moment.
How many HPs you got?
Oh!
No. Oh.
Not
For
enough.
3 attacks of 3d12 plus some corruption. All right, 66, 61.
Oh boy.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel
Down.
so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Why would you?
Okay, all right.
Why
all
would
right.
you bring
Okay.
that scene up?
So. Okay. I got a single conviction left. Home. I got 2 actually. Can I burn that for 2 lightning attacks?
To attack him, please. I would love that. It's still
You're
your
hitting
turn.
me. I'm hitting you right back. Here we go. Here comes that right now. Dropping the longsword as he's kind of like falling down on his knees. grabbing the lance once more and with all of his force just shoving straight up. As first attack,
It's definitely
second
hit.
attack,
Wow. Wow.
damages.
Okay. The second one is enough to kill. This person
Ah!
did not have any armor, as they had robes on the entire time, and you were able to deal about 40 damage in total over the course of this. So,
Yeah.
as
Like,
you
again, like from his knees, just shoves the spear up harder as hard as he can, and like the moment he
Epic.
feels kind of like the slump, just and then drops the spear and falls over. As I have negative 32 HP.
Oh my
My
god.
life is back.
I would like.
Halfax in, you arrive. That is correct.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm a novice
But
in
this is
medicine. Is
dramatic.
there anything I can do?
There's no way.
So
This guy's dead as
it's
hell.
that
But
this guy's dead as fuck.
I would like to
Good, I'm not gonna
summon
lie.
his spirit though quickly to have
Oh.
to have some last words with him before he
Oh.
passes.
Well, that's very
So in classic fashion, what's going to happen is just an additional 2 rounds of combat, most likely, for the following reason. The enchantment is still kind of on, and he did pass on the corruption to you. So Halfax, as you summon that spirit, Tamir's re-dead form rises from the ground as the corruption envelops.
No.
Right,
I
so
need this. I'm
same-
sorry. I need this. I just it's literally just Tamir. Like it's
So-
like it's him walking, spear, shield, and like
Artorias
looks
mode.
up, like
It's
eyes
Artorias
like
mode, yeah.
all black, like tears pouring from them. Just I can see her again. You brought her back to me. I won't let you take her from me.
Artorias. That's his ridiculous situation. Tamir, you look upon in fear of this. You are now as well, so you kind of have to roleplay 2 characters here. You have like your body, but you also are
I'm here for
roleplaying
it.
your spirit, which Halfbacks did summon, and that is like the pure version of you. And you still have like the same moves essentially. So Halfax in and Tamir, one final fight against Tamir, who is still weak. Let's see if you can put an end to this. Let me add everybody to the initiative real quick, and I have to clone Tamir.
This is
Yeah.
dramatic.
Here we go.
How wild.
I'm gonna put down the darkness within my own soul so I can go rest.
Oh my.
I was like, yeah, maybe I'll survive that last one with like 1 health, and then
I was
and
just
then
gonna have a moment with you, before you pass, say thank you for what you did and stuff. But here we go, gotta fight a zombie.
Well, we
Just throw a
gotta-
zombie in the
we
mix.
do that first. We gotta kill zombies
We did.
first.
Re-dead moment.
Yeah, no, Tamir, who looks just the most tired, like just so tired, looks over and sees himself and just once more. Then
Okay, so in order, it's actually going to be Zin first. Zin, what do you say as you say? What do you say as you see this?
I wish I could say that this is like the least eventful thing that has happened all day and that I should not have expected this. But I fully expected this. I'm gonna put up a psychic shield.
Nice. Okay, really good for corruption monsters. Hype.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put up a psychic shield and then I'm gonna do a staves attack. And that's 1d6 plus 3, I believe. So let me.
That's the damage.
Oh, that's the
but
damage.
you
Okay,
can, like-
then I roll. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
ignore that. So it's 3d6
And then
to
you can
test
just-
that as well.
Yeah. 3d6 plus fighting, it should be.
And then my fighting is 1, so that'd be a 10.
Doesn't hit. Need to be defensive 16, unfortunately,
Heck.
oof.
for very
Yeah.
high AC
Well, at least I'm
warrior.
shielded.
There are spells that bypass that if you have any, but that's one option.
I
Halfax, you're
don't
up.
think I do. You're
I think
you're
not
muted.
coming through. You're muted.
I'm muted.
Now you're not.
All right. No, I'm not. Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that roll. Let's talk about it. How many stun points did you say I could use?
Okay, so
I'll
you do have a high amount of
spend them
stun
all.
points right now because you did get several earlier. I'd say that you have about 12 right now. Each 2
Yeah.
is 1 point, plus you can re-roll. So you can try re-rolling a couple times to get higher if you want, and then add those points there.
Could I
I
spend
don't
all
like this
12 of
roll.
my points?
Yeah, and then you would get 6.
I would
Oh yeah,
hit
and then you just
with a 16.
yeah, then you would hit. All right, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
perfect.
I want to
Okay,
do that.
okay,
Let me roll my damage now. Watch it be a
yes.
real bad. All right, no, it wasn't that bad. 4.
I'm
One
sorry
more
for this,
hit.
but this is just your walking corpse.
One more hit, and you can tell that Tamir's body is not doing so great.
Okay.
But Tamir is just suffused with so much corruption right now that if you don't put a stop to it, it will eventually recover and grow.
Do I have another action? How many actions are
Yeah, you can use a conviction for an extra action. That's exactly correct. You just have
Okay.
to hit his 16 on this one.
Oh, dang.
I believe in
I'm
you. I
probably
believe
not
in
gonna
you.
do
I
that.
believe in you. I believe in you.
13.
Oh!
How many
You can use a
convictions do I
conviction to
have?
re-roll. Yeah, you have 2 left.
Okay, I'm gonna try
All
to
out.
hit a 9. No, I'm gonna try. Can I try again?
Nope.
It's
No,
your last
it's
one
one.
not
more.
It's
doing
your
it.
last one.
Okay. Oh, I can do it one more. Okay, all right. Oh
Oh,
my god, that was
Oh,
worse. God, that was.
buddy, that's rough.
just got progressively
Try a
worse.
couple times.
It did. It
Try a
did.
couple
No,
times.
my luck was. It gave up. Anyway, so I'm just my character's just like swinging his staff, I imagine, and it's just like being parried off of the shield like over and over again, and his old muscles and bones just start to ache, and he just has trouble breathing, and he just like has like a look of defeat on his face, like damn, I tried, kind of. Anyway, next.
Tamir Spirit, you're next up, and you can respond to Halfax's solemnness there or not.
Yeah, I think kind of like as Tamir is kind of like moving to engage, as I'm now a spirit, I'll kind of move through Halfax as like I'm moving to attack my re-dead self. But I kind of want the emotion, the kind of the feeling that like Halfax feels as I pass through him. It's very much like a solemn grace of like thank you for trying. Like I appreciate you for trying to offer me this rest. It's very, very kind. And then I'm gonna try to attack myself, I guess. So here comes that exact thing that's happening. Oh, yeah, I pressed the wrong button. I'm just gonna press the here's that. Oh, I hit it.
Yes.
Nice.
Even 16.
That's ridiculous. So
Perfect. Even 16.
with exactly the number that you needed, you hit. Please
Just the
roll
right chink in the
damage.
armor. You know, there's 9 for the damage. And so yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it obviously. You take it away. What happens? Like
yeah, I just again passes through Halfax. Definitely also as he passes, like I'd say even before he passes through Halfax, kind of glances over at the psychically shielded and staff twirling Zin. Just also offers that very solemn smile, just like a very, very warm thank you. Pushes through Halfax to offer him the exact same feeling, just so everyone recognizes that he appreciates that you all would do this for him. And then just as he approaches on his re-dead self, drives the spear in and just kind of keeps stepping back towards the beach, like again and again and again. Just we have done enough, and just pushes them both back down into the depths of the sea again.
Into the deep.
as a happy epilogue for Tamir's story, as you sink, like your consciousness leaves you, you reappear. You're no longer spirit or re-dead. You're whole again, and what happened to the other form is unclear. You walk along a similar town, but it's underwater. It's sort of like Goo Lagoon from SpongeBob. Like it's you can see the deeper water on the outskirts, and it looks like the same town. It's an older version of it. The lighthouse is there. Old Kingdom artifacts. and you see a person fitting the description of Murrin in front of the lighthouse. And you walk towards the lighthouse, embrace each other, and live out the rest of your days in this heaven that Ash was eventually talking about.
Doesn't
It
sound
cuts
that bad.
there. Doesn't sound that bad. It cuts there as we head, Zin and Halfax head back home again. And we're essentially at the Roamer's Rest with everybody happy for you, that it's almost over and everything's done. But
I want to I would like to throw like a massive celebration and invite everybody like in the area
Like I
to come and
suggested
celebrate.
in the beginning too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barley, Theodora, and the rest of the many, many people that the Aldians have brought stay, they laugh, they come. That final table, that final week, sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. That final week from yesterday, uh, they're so happy to see that Murrin had some sort of happy ending. That even though there was one person lost, Mora, Daisy, and Parrot know uh, that, like, even though that island claimed so many lives compared to the other crises, that it's finally over and done with. Everything else is taken care of. New tribes restored in the Rizaean lands. The Jarzon Theocracy has fallen. So much has happened. Um, it's quite the party. Unicorns visit with the winged knights. And there's like all these rye creatures in like full plate armor with like purifying light gleaming through. Unicorns getting trashed and like throwing up like rainbows. Barley is like pouring out like charcuterie and breads, liquor, pufferfish toxin for everybody. Everybody, like half the room is incapacitated by the time that you get there. And it's really quite a party. You have a moment to Halfax. You have a moment to talk with your dolphins and others as well as Zin if you wish, before we head on out. And Zin, you have a moment to talk with Theodora and Barley if you wished, in whatever order you wanted to.
You can go.
Yeah, I would like to okay.
Yeah.
That worked out because I started running my mouth anyway, as I am one to do. Thank you. So yeah, my character is nothing. I don't really want to get into it too much, but we could just say that like my character meets up with the street sharks, as they're so aptly named, as dolphins. And he wants to start learning their language like natively without having to use telepathy to communicate with them. So there's just this like scene of them drinking and him making dolphin noises and like back and forth, and them laughing at him for saying something insulting or goofy, you know. Um, and
Henry looks
just
at you.
and he continues to
Yeah,
just
and like
win money from them, like over and over again.
so now all the cash is being funneled to you, but spiritually, emotionally, Henry puts his fin on you and says, "No, we're brothers, maybe lovers through and through. Uh, let's go." And like it cuts to like Halfax like swimming in the river with like the pod of dolphins like through the estuary, and like just like Halfax
Oh,
goes over the the thing and cuts there for Halfax. Yeah, you're
excellent!
learning the
Yeah,
dolphin way.
he was
Yeah,
in
you're
the
learning the
buff as
dolphin way.
well.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was in everyone was in the buff. He yeah, it was good.
Reject modernity, return to naturalism.
Yeah.
It's so good. It cuts to back to the Roamer's Rest, drinking. Zin, you're up. Again, you don't have to talk to either. You can talk to both if you want, up to you, and in whatever order.
Okay. So I'm gonna go up to the Tamara. You say was the card reader's
Oh,
name?
to Theodora? Yeah, the seer?
Theodora. Yeah. And I'm just gonna bump into them and be like, told you I'd be back.
Immediately starts like bawling, like crying.
I told you no crying unless I'm crying. And I just
Okay,
like
well,
hand them a, like like a little handkerchief. Like I told you, it's fine. You can
okay,
keep
all
it.
right.
You're good. You can keep it too.
Okay, well, I just wanted to
It's
make
fair.
sure you're good. Well, anyway, now that I know you're good and everything's fine, here, drink. And like she pours you some wine, and she's very happy to see you. She predicts that Aldis and the Aldean world at large will be peaceful for many years to come, as the events of the last couple weeks, in fact, 11 in particular, have solidified this era as the golden age of peace and stability, of calm, uh, for thousands of years. So this was like the last like really like not okay thing, and so she's super happy you took care of it. She asked you to enjoy yourself and revel in the spoils. Listen, I know you have a date to get to, so I won't keep you for much longer.
Yeah. Just wanna, pop in before I go to the date.
You head on up, and you see Barley having done all of his responsibilities, all of their work, all her cooking is done, everything is ready. So Barley is completely ready um, to speak with you, but is a little like tired, so is like closing their eyes currently, so you can kind of get the drop on her.
I'm gonna like go over very sneakily as their eyes are kind of like closed for the second and just sit at the table.
Oh, um, you're back? I heard it
Hmm.
was pretty dangerous. Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah. Tamir not so much, but I think he's not alone at least. So I'm at least
I
happy
I,
there.
I hope so. They were so
Yeah.
kind. Um, listen, I didn't have to be, so soon after you got back. If you had other things to do, if you needed to take another trip, I understand. But like, kind of looks down and is like, this is the moment. How do
I
you respond? Kind of, he trails off.
So as their head is tilted down, I put my hand on their chin and just like, and miss out on a date with you after all of that? No, no, this is top priority here. This is top priority. Look at all you did all of this. No. No, I'm here. And next time I have to go out, you're coming with me too.
The rest of the rest cheers you on, from pirates to monks, sailors to knights, nobles to peasants, animals to awakened animals. Cheer you on as the entire rest wishes you happiness, spirit, love, and luck. You start getting multiple sea shanties and like songs in your direction
I can't do
as
it. I have pizza in
trumpets
my
and
mouth.
horns go out to Zin and Barley sharing a very, very soft, pleasurable kiss. Um, as that cuts away there, we will end our session of Blue Rose for our semi finale of Blue Rose there. It was such an amazing pleasure to get to run for you all in this home run of the West Marches campaign. I was happy to bring in other weeks and other influences and kind of color the world's events. I was happy to put trans and queer people first, and I hope to do more stuff like this in the future. Thanks so much for Weave for hosting us, Green Ronin for sponsoring us, Ian and Sam for being amazing tech people, by which this would not be possible at all. And last but not least, my amazing cast, who I would love to outro. Once again, my name was Anthony, he, him pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Prainntheplague. Catch me on Weave for more stuff, amongst other places. I'll post some stuff on my Twitter. But for now, let's go to outros in the order that we started them. Leland.
Oh, hi. I knew it was coming this time. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm Leland / LeopoldtheJust. That was an awesome session. Makes me want to play not just this game again, but obviously with everyone again. Wow. Yeah, no, it was really good. And I like that just, not tooting my own horn or anything, but I'm pretty much the best because, like, just joking about my character being rich, I was able to throw a party at the end with all the other characters from all the past episodes. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, so, I'm awesome. No, I'm just kidding. uh, yeah, that was very fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much again, Leland. Next up, Elliot.
Hey everybody, it's me. I've been Zen. My name's Elliot. I use they, them pronouns. Sometimes he. We're fixing, to change things up. Who knows what's gonna happen? Zen was an absolute delight, and I love that it ended in romance because if you know me in games, chances are there's probably me romancing someone. So I'm so happy I got that. I survived, and that we were able to have that go off into the sunset one day, and everybody's just like cheering. It was so cute. Um, you can find me on the internet at ChaosElliot for the unorganized stuff, and for the organized stuff, Chaos Them, as you've seen me in chat. That is pretty much where I am at for all my organized things. Where you'll find me next, let me check my calendar real quick. Typically on Mondays, I am on REP RPG and I'm playing a game of Blades. It is a bunch of fun. I play a Whisper and, it's all good. And yeah, I don't have too much going on the upcoming weeks, but I will be on Bard's Playhouse for a vampire game called Revolt on the Rhine. It's going to be a mini series. It's going to be really awesome. So that's coming sometime in May. And I have other things, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about them yet.
That's amazing. There's so much content. Please go follow this amazing person on Twitter. So
Yeah,
get
go
on
if
it.
you follow Chaos Them, that's where all the extra updates will be, where you can find them directly. ChaosElliot gets chaotic.
And for one last time of the game, get it, get it, get it, hit it. I have to. I have to at least. Yeah. One last dance party for the end of the game. And of course, last but not least, Foxy playing Tamir with the amazing sacrifice. How are you?
Hi, folks. I love to rip the audience's heart out a little bit at the end. It's always a classic of mine. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite fox, Philly's finest. You can find me on the internet at Foxxiieternal. It's FOXXII. Eternal spelled the way it normally is. I represent the Heath Empire and will continue to do so as always. The next place you'll find me doing cool stuff is, I don't even know, Sunday, actually, playing in Tiebreaker All Black Everything. Got an all black cast doing some weird steampunk kaiju nonsense, and it's gonna be fucking wild. Come check it out. It's gonna be great. Um, yeah, just please come check that shit out. It's gonna be wild. If you want to know where that's all happening at, it's the account I'm talking in chat with right now. Neon Lights Folk is where you can find me on the internet. It's where I hang out with all my friends and do dope shit and show you how dope they are. So come hang out with us, and if you're lucky, you might get pulled into one or two campaigns I'm casting for right now. It's been a great time. Awesome session with an awesome cast, an incredible GM, and just a lot of really, really important people-focused storytelling that I always am so here for. Thank you for letting me come on this journey with you all, and I hope I get to play with all of you again sometime. Thank you for
Absolutely.
this.
Oh, so warm. What a perfect way to end Blue Rose, a series about love and togetherness. So thank you so much again, everybody, for watching. And we still have one more game of Blue Rose, so catch us again next Friday for our finale with our wonderful Ian hosting. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night.